Hello and welcome back to Chaos Encumbrance's Soulmates campaign. I'm your DM, Derek, and I'm joined by my friends Matthew.
I can cast Cure Wounds.
Harry.
Greetings.
Ethan.
I too can cast Cure Wounds.
Connor.
I can't.
And Ryan.
Greetings.
What did you say?
Making fun of Harry.
Pretty much.
Yeah. This is the 7th episode, because last week I thought it was the 7th, but no, it's our 7th session, and I had it mixed up. But yeah, no, it's 7th episode. Yeah, so I guess let's just jump into it. Last episode was our climactic battle with Kramer that ended with a Thor-style beatdown of a giant mech robot that everyone saw coming from a mile away. And
I didn't. Okay.
everyone was
We
like,
saw
"Oh, it's a
cloth.
cloth. It means robot." But yeah, and then you guys went and talked to the leader of the guards, Ruby Abernanth, who came to assist with the inevitable killing of Kramer, even though you guys planned on capturing him alive and interrogating him. And then you had it was revealed to you that Cropsys actually survived the attempt on his life and was actually laying low in hopes that another attempt wouldn't be made on his life again while Kramer was still alive. And then you guys talked about bounty. You talked a bunch of money stuff with Ruby, who said you guys need to talk to Tony about it. And so you guys went, enjoyed a nice dinner. Some of you guys ordered really weird things that didn't make any sense to me as the DM, but it happened. And yeah, we're actually going to start up that night with everyone having gone to bed except for one slithery man, Apophis, who stayed up to actually read the journal of Kramer Orwell. Now, how much are you wanting to read?
Apophis is mainly going to be skimming through it at first to see if there's anything that actually interests him.
Okay.
Get a basic.
Okay, so roll investigation for me real quick, and I'll just tell you how much.
Dice that I just got back today. Okay, 18.
You skim through, and you seem to find it to be some sort of dream journal.
You stole my dream journal. You ruined my dream journal. I did not.
I'm expelled!
And since you rolled so high, I mean, it's a dream journal, and I'm going to read like the first, like, he has several like entries throughout the thing. Hold on, I'm at entry 5 for some reason. Okay, and it goes on for quite a bit, but it has 34 entries. I didn't write that many because a lot of the days were repetitive, but on the first entry, I'll just go ahead and read it for you. I've started this journal as a dream journal. For the past couple nights, I've been having the same dream over and over again. I find myself standing in front of a crowd of scholars who are either laughing or yelling at me. After I've had a presentation I gave about a topic that I cannot recall. Amongst the voices, I hear talks of theft and plagiarism. Some even call me a fool for being behind the times. I become frustrated but do nothing but argue back at deaf ears as I just stand there taking their belittling until I awaken. Unlike any of the other dreams I've had, it's burnt into my mind like a scar and never leaves my memories through the waking hours. That's the first entry. Do you want to keep reading?
Apophis is going to do just one more and then call it a night.
Okay. The next significant one would be the 5th entry. The dreams have become more vivid and violent. The crowd has started to throw items at me and threatening violence. I tried to run, but I'm unable to move away from the crowd. I don't know how much longer I can take this humiliation. And that's the end of entry 5.
Apophis is going to close it, put it back in his bag, and call it a night.
Okay.
one to read the rest at a later date.
Okay. And then you pack it in for the night?
Yep.
Okay. You all go to sleep. Oh, I don't have music playing in our room, so it's
Very quiet.
yeah.
Too quiet.
But you guys all awaken the next day having the effects of a long rest.
Heck yeah.
A much needed one, as some of you went to bed with only 5 HP. Alatar, as you get ready to do your morning routine of a hot bucket of water. Oh, I did it again. Faramar, as you begin your morning routine of like getting the hot water and wiping your face down, you hear a thrapping at the window.
It's a baby. You know, a baby again.
You guys
Can you just let me have my moment? You're like a little goblin off to the side. Yeah, that's really funny, isn't it?
If I was a goblin.
Freaking open
Shush.
the window.
Okay.
Just open the window.
Yeah. So, I'll just dry off my face, and then go over to the window and open it.
You see the Snow White Dove, and it has a letter being tied to like the chest with a ribbon around it, so sort of like vertically on the chest rather than being on the ankle like a normal carrier pigeon. You open the letter. I hope this finds you in good health. The reason I'm writing this letter is to let you know of the current affairs happening within Captiosis. Most of the information isn't out to the public, with the loss of Laverne as well as some new magic coming into play from the Ka Empire. It seems that the tables have turned in the call of war. The college is scrambling to find a solution for the lack of potions that were being produced in Laverne to counter their new magics. We have a feeling this has something to do with the unknown Elven rune in the Ka city of Ifrim. There are 2 reasons I'm telling you this. One is because I know you're in one of the cities bordering the war zone. The second is I hope that it pushes towards you returning home so you can try and accept the ancestors to figure out what that vault is. Meet up with your brother in Farum if you wish to fulfill your role as the Eternal Flame. Your brother, Noctis. Do you want to listen to the Animal Messenger? Because that's what the spell was.
Sure.
What's his name again?
Runin.
Yeah. In Runin's voice, you hear Noctis realize, Sacriel, Farum, helping gen mining, IDK, if I write often, being watched, Noctis looking for you, so don't revealingly reply. Thanks, Shell Necklace.
What was the name of the city that Noctis wanted to meet me at?
He wanted to meet you, or he wanted you to meet your brother, Sacriel.
Sariel?
Sariel. I put Sacriel.
No, it's like Sacriel.
That's my favorite character.
It must have like fixed it from Sariel to Sacriel or something.
Maybe.
Auto-corrected. Well, it always marks out weird names and is like change, and sometimes it'll automatically change the word, and sometimes it'll like put the red
Change it to an
line on
even weirder word.
Yeah, but he wants you to meet him in the city of Farum,
Okay.
which the map is in the other room if you would like to locate it, but everyone else, I believe you'd probably be downstairs for breakfast, having woken up and enjoying some form of breakfast meal. And Faramar, because of this letter and because you're a pompous rich boy who likes to be clean, you'd probably be the last one to come down.
Loser.
Don't want to be stinky.
Shut up. The rest of you smell.
You value hygiene?
Literally has a spell that can make him smell good. Himself decides to wash up.
It makes
anyways.
me feel accomplished
Or
in life.
everyone.
Are you guys gonna be? Do you guys have anything you want to talk about during your breakfast, or because you guys have a lot of things to discuss? If if you guys can't think of any, you guys just spend the day talking.
Right.
You spend a little bit talking about like formalities and stuff, and then eventually Mark comes down, and without a face to really show it, he's been up all night, which he normally is anyways. But this time it looks like it wasn't smithing. It looks like he was doing something else. And he comes down. Morning, y'all. So what's the plan for today?
I have no plans.
I don't either.
I thought it would perhaps be a good idea to go and visit Alan and see how he's doing.
You thought?
What'd you call me?
No, not you. Never mind.
Faramar is very confused.
All right, I'm gonna go back to eating.
He's awkward.
well.
Not a bad idea. He's considered to talk to him.
You probably should, because he
We should
faked his
also do
death.
that
We
pay.
should. Yeah.
That's another big.
Can you
important
send me the letter
I can.
from Noctis?
Are you like over text or?
Just
I'll just
copy
put
and
it in
pace it
Discord
to
mail
my
written
secrets
with that.
Yeah, I'll just put it
page.
in your doc, but I'll do it in a moment. Yeah, no, that's not. Isn't there also some sort of deal for like mass production of monocles or something like that that I heard Abernanth talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
yesterday?
Hey, how did your investigation go into those gems?
Those gems? Yeah, I can use them. I have a project I'm gonna use them for.
Mind disclosing?
I was gonna keep it secret because it's like, I mean, I want to keep it secret. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Okay.
But in that line of thought, we'll just skip over talking about the thing because, like, we'll probably have to talk to them about the things. But we are planning on selling them a majority of our ethereal glass, right?
Probably.
Mhm.
Yes. I mean,
Kind of obnoxious having an entire like bucket
Yeah.
Would it,
of glass.
we have more than a bucket.
Yeah.
It's a
I
big
have
bucket.
Piles.
We had an entire window's worth.
We have
40
That's a
foot,
pretty.
a
If
40-foot.
Yeah,
diameter
window can be.
We have
jarring.
piles.
if I may, I would like to keep about enough to create a sheet, precisely 6 feet tall and 5 feet wide.
I mean, in the end, I think we're probably gonna have a lot more than that, because we technically get to set the price for this, right? You know, we get to set the price because this isn't on the market. It's something that we're supplying, and this place is a low magic city, and this is a very high magic thing, and we're selling it for military purposes. So we could jack up the price quite a bit. So they might not be able to buy a lot.
They even saw how good it was.
And
Showed it to their leader.
this is
Yes.
this is actually a quite good thing.
On top of the other money
The-
we're making, we're making bank.
True.
It's-
But by seeing Alan, we could perhaps get a edge, if you will, in the more profitable markets that would be after such a commodity.
Maybe, yeah. But so I guess we are doing that. I decided instead just sort of like to catch up on all of the books you guys sort of brought me yesterday. I went through a couple, and Faramar, there's one that definitely caught my eye. And it was the one about the ethereal plane. I don't know if you want it, and he sort of reaches behind his back and pulls it out, but I suggest you would go through this later, or do you want me to give you sort of like a rundown?
No, I would actually very much appreciate being able to give it a look over. I'm doing some personal research into.
That is why
Using
I'm
it.
giving it to you. I specifically told you about it. He hands it to you. And you have like Kramer's research on the ethereal plane. But yeah, it's an interesting read, especially like the majority of the focus. Not to spoil anything, even though it's not a book that can be spoiled. There's like this section that doesn't really seem to have anything to do with the ethereal plane, and it talks about like these sort of storms or something of like great power on the plains.
Do I know what he's talking about at all?
You have roll Arcana, I guess.
Uh, 13 plus 8.
13 plus 8. You do, because if you remember back during the fight with Kramer, the entire time there was some sort of storm in the ethereal plane that sort of circled around Kramer and sort of encompassed him during the entire fight. And after you killed Kramer, it dissipated and disappeared and actually went into your rings.
Interesting.
Yeah. From what little pieces you guys have told me about what this journey is supposed to be, it was very strange because it wasn't like a magical thing, you know? It was like a, how should I say, like, it's very emotion driven sort of thing. It wasn't like, oh, there's like a surge of power here. They're like, oh, it's a surge of like anger or other emotions of that kind. And it was just like it was really funny that the list of emotions that were in his research matches up with a majority of the things written on your corkboard, Barash.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to say what's on my cork board? Because I have. I don't know.
What's a cork board?
Have you not been in the tent and seen the giant board?
I was in the tent yesterday, but I don't recall seeing something like that. I was busy with work and research.
No.
No, he
Are
just
you
has
blind?
it. He just sort of has it sitting there.
It's right there. Are we in the
Okay,
tent?
this
No,
is
you guys
out
are
of
eating
this is
correctly.
out of role
Oh.
play. He just invented this.
No, he's had it since the beginning. At the beginning of the.
Yes.
I was like,
I
I want
don't
a cork
remember
board.
you
to have
ever
stupid stuff
mentioning
on
He
it.
has,
that.
remember, he said he has a cork board, but it only has two things: God of War and something else, and it has a line.
I
drawn
don't even
between
remember
it.
what it was. I think I got rid of it though.
See, why are you getting mad at me? He doesn't even remember his own thing.
Well, I have what I have now written down.
Because he had.
Explain it.
Well, yeah, no, it. I mean, it didn't make sense with me, but the only correlation were those lists of emotions that you have, but it didn't have. It was all of the ones that were written in his thing aren't on your board yet, and it looks like you might be adding them eventually. I
Maybe.
don't know.
Like what emotions?
Specifically like pridefulness and like lust. You don't have those on the board, but you have the rest. You have envy, laziness, or sloth, and all the other ones.
Greed.
Yeah.
I believe it was. Is it like what the follies? Or
Yeah.
whatever they were?
I don't know how many
The
there were,
Specific
but
term we've been told. We know a lot.
I
of
mean,
them.
you had 5 written down, I believe, well, if I'm remembering correctly.
yes.
Yeah, no, it seemed like it matched, and so maybe you should go through the research as well and see what you can pick up, since it seems to be correlated somewhat with what you got. Whether or not it is or isn't, I don't know. It could just be happenstance. But it was just something that I wanted to bring up to you guys before I disappear into the tent for another eon.
One last question. Have you ever made any research into parallel planes like the Feywild and the Shadowfell?
Not specifically. The closest thing I'd have is maybe knowledge from the familiar spell, because that was one of Marcus's favorite spells, because he always had a familiar with him. So, yeah, the closest thing is that.
I'm assuming that's the name of the wizard that created you.
Yeah, and it's the one that we're supposed to be looking for, but we haven't really gotten to that part yet.
Do I recognize his name at all?
You have no clue who Marcus is. It's a first name and only a first name.
It's a
So
very common name.
yeah, you have-
Well, I mean, like,
the Great Wizard Marcus is that's not a thing.
oh, true, but like a famous.
I know. There's no one famous.
Wizard.
There's no famous person that you know named Marcus.
Okay.
But yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll probably just sort of okay. I guess this is since I probably won't be with you guys for the negotiations. I think you guys should probably talk about how long we want to stay here. Because I could make and sell them all this stuff for a higher price, but we could be here for a while in this town. And I don't know if we have more places that we need to go to. Or I could just sell them the patent and instructions on how to make them, and then it would be, we wouldn't get as much money, but we'd be able to leave the town like a lot sooner if we need to.
I think the patent would be less valuable to them if they're not entirely certain on how to reproduce the ethereal glass, as it is a limited and mysterious resource.
Well, I mean, they could probably hire someone to do that, or I could just sell that to them as well if we would want to.
True.
But then it would be either way. Who knows if they'd even be able to reproduce it, even if they had how to make it, because they don't have any wizards really here, no major wizards.
Have you done any chemical testing of the glass, perhaps, to see what material it's made out of?
It's just glass. It's just enchanted glass. There's nothing like physically different about it from it than actual glass, besides the type of light that it's letting. Yeah. But I just wanted to give you guys that like option, because like who knows? I don't know what the plan is from here on out. Whether or not we're gonna be, are we hunting down these follies, or what's the deal with them?
We don't exactly know everything. We just know apparently they need to be taken down.
I might know one.
We were told quite a few this last time whenever I asked that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh.
oh yeah.
But
True.
We were told that Kramer was one of them for sure.
Mhm.
The other was a god of war. Seemed to be related to you. I think they mentioned.
Maybe.
Ark, I recognize that name. Someone relating to Croesus, I don't think.
Yes,
has a name
a necromancer.
And the, fun little pink man that had beat us the last time.
I
Well,
do have something on the pink man. It's more of a theory, but
We know he led the bugs, at least.
true. How much do you know about the fall?
Not really that much. You have to remember, during that time, I was on another island, at the very least.
True.
We're not from around the main continent, my kind.
The fall is a period of time that is shrouded in a lot of mystery because of just the sheer destruction that was wrought during that time. Much of society was broken down as a result, and many of the records destroyed, and the only surviving records that we can find were preserved by my people, as knowledge is sacred to us, and our memory stores with the ancestors are unmatched in their perfection, but esoteric in access. It is said in those records that there were creatures, strange creatures, however there's no physical description left of them, that were the cause of the fall and the destruction that was wrought during that time. And I believe, or at least have a theory, that because of the strangeness of this pink man, as we've come to call him, he very well could be connected to that.
I feel given the wide range of everything, it's definitely a possibility. these things are not directly related by any means, unless, Kramer had a very lovely relationship with them. Or the Demon Lord. You never know. I feel like they aren't all connected except for by them being follies.
True. And obviously the name Follies is pretty damning, I would say. And
I believe folly is spelled different than fall, but it doesn't really matter.
Yes, but same grammatical meaning. But
So then, stepping away from the fall and the creatures of the fall, what is the unifying factor of these follies?
that
They seem to all personify some big bad thing, is what we were told.
well, that leads me into my next point. The Pink Man specifically, these creatures were also said to come from another world. A lot of theorizing involves that it was a parallel world like the Shadowfell or the Feywild to our world. Similar, but slightly different, twisted. And so, perhaps beyond just destiny connecting these follies, perhaps they are all connected through some connection to that place, and thereby the very embodiments of what caused the fall in the first place.
Perhaps the storm connects them. We can see into the plane now. Perhaps they'll have a storm above them as well.
Whenever it really went down, there was that storm. You are right.
Yes, it was almost like a release of something that's other but still powerful, but not magic.
Was that theory that you talked about, was it like a proven theory or just sort of like a hypothesis based on maybe a possibility?
That isn't. It was. I've done some research into the fall, and that is all theory, obviously, because the creatures from the time of the fall haven't been seen in ages, and obviously we're not sure what the creatures were or where they came from. But because they share similar anatomical structures to creatures that live in this world, but they're slightly altered, leads people to believe that they are echoes, just like the Feywild and Shadowfell are.
Another thing, most of these things seem to relate to one of us. We had a Kramer, obviously, with Argos. The God of War is something with you. We weren't really told much.
Sprosh.
Ark, we know that. And then the one of you.
Well,
The most I know about is Ark.
And if my theory is correct, then Pink Man is mine, which...
Who would be yours then?
Well, I don't really know. I definitely don't remember any pink men from around my island, and I don't think I've made any enemies of any so far.
what was your folly under?
I don't believe
She didn't mention
she
one
didn't
under him.
mention anything with me, no.
She just pointed at us three.
Yes.
Well,
We don't really know. what's
Speaking of which, are we
related
gonna
to
talk
me.
about the lady that magically appears at random intervals?
Yeah, and also, just how he points at Rayson, keep disappearing into white light and entering rings.
Yeah, we'll not talk about that right now. But what we should talk about is the easiest folly to hunt down next, or that lady that you were talking about. Because
I didn't say we should hunt her down. I
not
just wanted-
lady, I meant talk about her.
If we're going to hunt her down anyway, it would be easiest to meet her through the follies.
Exactly. So the faster we hunt down another folly, theoretically, the faster we'll be able to speak to her again and ask more questions.
Oh yes, she said the more we kill, the more time we'll have to speak to her.
Mm-hmm.
I do have an idea as to where we could perhaps find another lead. Do any of you have the ability to speak to, departed spirits, divination magic, that kind of thing? I don't possess any kind of abilities like that.
I wish I did.
I can hit people really hard.
Why do you ask?
remember when we killed Kramer, some essence of him split and went into our rings, so perhaps we could use one of our rings as a conduit to speak to him via a spell being used.
I mean, have you tried
Since
waving
he-
your hand around randomly
since there's
and
no-
saying his name?
Well, no. Since there's no corpse.
Croesus goes woo around his wing.
Yeah.
Magic man,
Since there's no corpse for us to use a speak with dead spell upon.
I mean, we did have a corpse, I think.
No.
This corpse was
Are
on
you
the
asking
floor.
me as a DM?
I mean,
I think,
I thought it was
Yeah, he died.
disintegrated or something.
did it?
No.
No,
No.
it was there.
His actual corpse is still there. I can't remember
Yeah,
how
someone
he
looked
got
through
killed.
it.
I think someone's. I
Uh,
think he
shot him,
died
I
to
think.
physical. He died to
It-
physical damage.
no, it was. I think he hit him with a magic missile.
Oh,
I killed him.
you killed him
Yeah.
with magic
Yeah.
missile, which is force damage, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, his body was still there. It's
Yeah.
the robot mech body that got sucked into the soul gem and teleported to the ethereal plane.
But that was still his spirit, though, his
His spirit left his
consciousness.
physical body and went into that thing. But then his then you guys watched his spirit, because it's okay. So from the ethereal plane is very convoluted in the fact that while all people have their own religions and stuff like that, they still have a soul in the ethereal plane, whether or not they believe in a soul or not. And so what you saw was his soul leaving the ethereal plane and going on to whatever afterlife he is associated with for his beliefs, if he has some at all, or if he returned to an ever-flowing void of nothingness.
Into a cow.
Oh. Well,
And so I guess what I should explain is that his soul didn't go into your rings. It was the storm that was surrounding him went into your rings and dissipated into nothingness.
Yeah.
And then his soul just sort of evaporated. into
But
nothingness.
could we
Even-
conjecture, perhaps, that essence of the storm is the part of him that is the folly, and therefore connected to the other follies? And we could use that as a lead, perhaps.
well, that's what I said a minute ago. But yeah,
Sorry.
and I don't think we can speak to him with his body, since his soul is no longer in it.
I'm not a divination person, so I don't know much about the Speak with Dead spell itself.
Are there any, temples or religious institutions in Javron?
Javron is a heavily, I believe, heavily city, so you could probably find a couple cathedrals dedicated to the worship of Ko, or you could probably find some Lian temples scattered around the edges.
Are well,
It's
my
terrible fun.
my thought is perhaps if none of us possess that ability, we could go find a cleric that knows of those kinds of abilities.
Can I make a religion check and see if there's any, if what I said was true, his soul is gone from the body, you can't actually talk to it.
Yeah, sure. But at the same time, I'm going to do something.
Okay. Oh yeah.
The only thing
Right,
I
go
would
ahead,
like to do
go ahead.
regarding the dead is
Okay,
protect the
13.
dead, protect the undead.
13,
Mhm.
you say?
True.
You could hypothesize that there's probably high-level casters in religion that could do it. Okay. It seems that Speak with Dead, the spell itself, also only requires a body. So then the body is then used as the catalyst to resummon the soul to then talk to.
Okay.
And the body specifically requires a mouth. That's all it needs. So it could have nothing but a head, and you could talk to it with Speak with Dead, is what it looks like.
Okay.
But it has to be within the last 10 days of the target's death. So that's what you get with your 13, is that high-level casters in religious settings might be able to do it. You could surmise maybe that a religious person tied more with authority would probably have speak with dead to solve murders and things like that, though probably like a normal like priest would not have that ability to speak with dead. Especially since neither Lien nor Ko are religions that actively sort of like after you die you're on to the next step, and so they don't really disturb anything with the dead. So yeah, you could possibly find someone. But
Okay, I relate this to the party.
I wonder if the spirit could lie, because if he's able to be cheeky when we summon him back, that might not turn out too well for us.
You know how he is. He would probably enjoy making us walk around in circles.
But why are we going to summon him?
As
And what purpose is it going to...
we don't have any other leads for the other follies, aside from
I
the
mean, we
side of
could-
Laverne.
I would.
I mean, we know the... Well,
But
you go ahead.
You said you had a lead.
Well,
I remember when we entered that temple, your book glowed.
so it has to do with Ark and how he kind of infiltrated and took over the religion that me and my family and group were a part of.
Is there anything in there that could aid us in possibly locating him?
I left, but whenever I did, it wasn't because I chose to. They were hostile towards me. And last I've heard, which was a while ago, before we met up, a group of them still resided there, being led by the man who was corrupted by Ark.
Maybe we could check out the lab or something.
Okay, we have that option, and we also have the option to go back to the previous city we've been at, where the pink man is probably still
We
there.
want to be fully prepared for that. We saw how bad that went.
Indeed,
We don't
but
talk about that.
We are much stronger now.
Oh, yes, yeah. You,
I rubbed my neck.
You know it especially.
just a real quick thing, Raistlin, you haven't looked at your book in a while, but you should probably.
It was blocked out. You said, "Don't read this." J.
You look in the book.
The third paragraph?
Sorry. I was looking at the fourth. Okay.
No, the third paragraph
don't.
is-
Hang on.
Derek.
Hold on before you read that. Yeah, Derek?
Oh gosh. Where is Sarum in
Farum.
relation? Sorry, yeah, Farum in relation to Javron.
Pull out the map, and Farum is not the next most northern city, but it's the second most northern city. And so it's that one up at the top of the mountain range, at the top of the river that flows to the lake.
And where are we located?
You guys are in Javron, down by that large sea, being fed by a river off the mountain. On the from Harry's point of view, it'd be on the left side. So yeah, just where you touched. And then Farum is at the very northern peak of the top river.
Okay, so we're like the middle right side of the map, and
And
it's located at the top right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That would be quite a walk indeed.
Indeed, we would have to probably start in Armstead and then take a ferry up the river just to cut down on travel time.
Money will be a problem after we get our funds.
No.
If you would like to read your passage for us real quick.
All right.
Yes, please.
So I'll read this out loud so everyone can hear. I'm not trying to hide anything. Atop the great mountains that feed the great river sits the dwarven ruins of old. Amongst it is a door not carved by dwarves, but by flame. Hold on to what is yours, because this temple of flame devours all.
So what about the river?
Atop the great mountain that feeds the great river sits the dwarven ruins of old.
You just see as Faramar grabs a pen out of his lapel, clicks it, and then wordlessly points to Farum.
There's click pens in this
Mechanical
world.
pen?
I don't. Yeah. sure,
Innovation.
There
Yeah.
was a giant robot.
It's not
There can be
that,
click
More
pens.
amazed by the
it's not
click
that hard
pen.
to... It's not...
It's not that hard.
Yeah,
to
that's what I was about to
click
say.
pen.
I'm a
freaking
snake
have a-
person from an island. This is amazing.
It's literally a spring. That's not that hard to create.
I do not believe that this is coincidence, because
The pen?
Croesus
No.
picks up his pen.
Take the pin out of his
Yeah.
I thought you pulled out a pen. Like I too have a clicky pen.
It's not even a pen, that's a pencil.
It's just
Lies to us.
yeah. He just Croesus keeps clicking and looking at it.
Lead falls out.
Like a child, he's like start
Let out
drooling
of
as he
his
just.
The city.
What?
The city of Ferrum is atop a mountain with a river flowing down from it. So
Do you know of any dwarven architecture there?
it is a
roll
city.
history. Just go ahead and roll history.
I mean,
Just so I could get everything out. in
oh,
one thing.
okay. That says 13 plus 8, so
Ferrum is a mining city, so
not a dwarven city.
if any place was gonna have a dwarven rune, it would be a mining city.
I asked for architecture, bruh. Not.
And
wanna know about
you rolled
mining.
high enough. While most metal exports, like raw metals, it comes from Ferrum. Also, a majority of smith things in general come from Ferrum, such as armors and weapons, arrow tips, and things like that are mass produced in the city because of the heavily dwarven influence that relies there. While a place like Capdiosis and Javron seem to be more heavily influenced by elves, this one is definitely one more influenced by the dwarves of the Concordance.
The reason I said it's not really a coincidence is I recently received a letter from someone.
The bird?
Yes, actually,
Don't you
very
guys room together?
Yeah.
perceptive.
I'm in his room.
Yeah.
I just didn't ask him. I just saw him like find a bird and take a
Yeah.
piece of paper off of it.
They're possibly going to wait for me up in Ferrum if I would like to meet up with them. Yes, and I also have some connections there, not just that one person.
Connections.
All
But
right.
Croesus says to themselves as he thinks about the letter he looked at. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
Connections looks that up in the thesaurus.
Steals Barash's corkboard.
I think
You're gonna go to the bottom right of it. You start putting things together.
I think whatever you want to call this, divine providence or whatever, destiny, I think that this is a good opportunity for us to pursue, especially since we have someone in the party that has a stronger connection to one of the follies.
I did have my dice.
Congratulations. We're so happy for you.
I'm gonna give you back your dice now because they've been failing me.
So
That's
then,
fine.
Guys suck.
Just gonna put them.
So it's not me, it's my dice. Okay. Can you?
It's both.
It's your math rocks.
Someone pass that to him for me, please, while I get set up in the DM's side.
so is this the path we want to take for now?
I want revenge.
Yes.
I want to go kill the pink man.
And
I think we all want that.
Um, once our business is finished in Ferrum and hopefully our plans don't change, I would appreciate it if we went looking for more Grey Elven ruins. I know that obviously we have the responsibility of finding these follies, but I do sense that there's still a lot to gain from these Grey Elven ruins in the magic and knowledge that they have within them.
All right. So then, like Barash said, he brought up a good point. Like, we know this pink man is a folly, and we know exactly where he is, and we don't know exactly where he is, but we know where he was last, and there's a good chance he's still there.
Is there? I mean,
Why would he move?
why would he stay there? We have no idea.
Exactly. Like, he could stay there, or he could have been gone. That's why I said I wasn't sure.
True, but we know for certain. Well, there's a higher chance that what we're looking for will be in the mountains than if we go back to that abandoned place.
I would rather us go back there once we're even stronger. We took down one, but that thing had a horde.
We can take him.
Yeah, we can take him.
With enough trial and effort, yes, but I would rather go when we're even better.
Speaking about hordes, my folly is a necromancer, and I have no idea where he is. The last time I knew of his location was Karamor, before it got destroyed.
Did
Yeah, you did.
did I did was there ever like any press about the destruction of Karamor, or was it a pretty enclosed society?
Karamor is in a different nation than yours, and it's in a nation that you guys are in war with. So, you guys have no. Karamor is a human city.
Oh, it's that one on the coast right there.
Yeah, it's the one next to Laverne.
We know.
Oh, so I was the only one that would know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
So-
actually, I remember in your first encounter with them that you, Croesus revealed that Karamor had also fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Or not in the first, but like after.
Well, no, we went back to his house.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
no,
we.
I'm saying that everyone in the party knows because
Mm-hmm.
Croesus revealed that it fell just like Laverne after the fall of Laverne.
Croesus, I just realized you're from the Car Empire.
Well, yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
It's been a long journey over here.
Yes, I'm just surprised. I suppose it's a bit strange being around, well, the more different races, I suppose,
Well-
elves and such.
Why would it be?
I mean, he himself looks a little bit different as well.
True, but generally speaking, I was always led to believe that the Car Empire was not especially hospitable to anything other than humans. But
No. Well, the Karamor I remember it was burned to ash, so I don't. Their customs didn't remain very long.
how long did you live there before it was destroyed?
Oh, memories is fuzzy.
Ah, bit of amnesia. Interesting.
Well, I think we can definitely look into that further.
You see that Faramar's like really
Once
uncomfortable.
we're more on the road and
Fairmar the racist strikes. The
Croesus.
humans were supposed to be the racists, not the Grey Elves. Holy jeez.
I mean, it would be like,
I know what it would be.
yeah, like
I'm just joking. It's just funny. And you're the one that I always joke about.
you can
being
tell
racist.
him that he's trying. You can tell that he's like trying to be very delicate and like not to hurt your sensibilities, but he is
But you're
like,
failing.
yeah, like he's having a hard time. Like,
Not being racist.
I'm not.
no, like it's not really that. It's just
No, don't do it.
It would be like
Don't say it, Harry.
That's their word. You can't say it.
I mean, probably not to this scale, but it would be almost like, an American meeting like a Nazi soldier during World War II.
Wow, that's
No, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that would be how. So
True.
like,
Or
understandably
actually,
so.
It would be more similar to a black man from this era meeting a Confederate soldier. It would be more similar to that, since all the races were enslaved, not genocided.
yeah. So like, understandably so. I'm a gray elf, so like it would, yeah, it'd just be kind of weird and
It would be weird
awkward.
for. It would be weird for you. It would be weird for. It wouldn't be weird for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
It wouldn't be weird for Apophis. Actually, the only person that it really impacts that I know of would be you.
I lived
Yeah.
I lived in the ground for a
Because-
while, so nothing here affected me.
Okay.
Well, you're. Well, I mean, Faramar doesn't
an
know
immigrant as
doesn't
well,
know
you know,
this,
something
but
against
Harry
us.
knows that Yonti practiced slavery.
Office is mentioned before the slavery.
Derek.
I will make that
Oh, yeah.
Croesus would
Office
like.
is
Hold on,
yeah.
hold on. We gotta,
Of what?
Okay.
slavery.
Of what though?
But yeah.
Of anything they could.
The majority of the slaves of the Yonti are human. There's not really any other races.
Apophis is just mentioned. Yeah,
Up
they
top.
take slaves.
Unlike Groupton, the island of the Yonti, rather than pushing their oppressors away and trying to like separate them from their oppressors, they sort of just did the flip of the table, and now they're the top dogs enslaving the humans rather than the humans enslaving the Yonti.
It's not really common knowledge here. What happens? Belial's
Yeah, but I was just explaining it in better terms because
Yeah.
you've probably explained it to them in passing.
He's explained some.
Because you guys have been together for about 2 months
He's
now.
explained part of it.
Croesus, is that why you choose to shroud your face in magical darkness?
Another thing, you guys can see into his darkness now, but you only see the mask that he made because you guys have true sight.
Okay.
Well, yes. It's been a while since I've seen my face. Actually, I don't remember what it looks like, but I keep it hidden for my personal reasons. I'd like to make a history check.
Go ahead.
Don't remember
Check
it.
to remember why you have your face hidden.
It's because I was ugly.
Well, that's a natural one.
You've no idea.
So don't even tell me what you're trying to think of. You're sitting there, and you start thinking about some story that you read while you were in that thrift store. And it's the tale of this gallant knight going and saving a princess from a red dragon. And you think that looking out the window behind the people across the table, you think you see that mountain.
See what?
The mountain from the story.
Wait a minute. Sorry, I lost my.
Gallant knight, not an ogre.
Sorry, hold that thought. And he walks over, like.
It's like a zombie.
Like holds up the book next to the mountain is like.
He doesn't have the book. It's just like whenever you
Oh,
went to
okay.
get the thesaurus, it's a book that you came across.
Mhm.
And the umbrella.
Oh yeah, you have that umbrella still too. Do you just have that on your hip?
Yes. Well, no, it's under my robes,
Umbrellas
but yes,
exist,
I still
but
have it.
clickable pens don't in this world.
If he's disarmed,
You're
you can pull out
waiting
the
for me
umbrella.
to say it's a rainy day, aren't you?
Maybe.
He just starts tap dancing with it like a cane.
But yeah, no, that's so. What are you doing again?
Walking towards it, like, interesting. Like, completely lost track of what he was talking about before.
Faramars just kind of has his mouth quirked in this kind of odd smile, but you can tell he's like weirdly fascinated by Croesus, but also a little weirded out.
What you got over there, buddy?
I just had a flashback of a story I read.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well,
What
I
were
think
we
if we're going to be entering the
What were-
Temple of Fire, we should probably try to prepare for that along the way.
Indeed.
Oh, I remember something. I was gonna go shopping.
I think we all should go shopping before we leave for sure.
Mark, would you like to go shopping?
While I don't have any money, I do have some errands that I would like to run at the library.
Where's
And-
the cap?
What?
The cap?
He says we're gonna take a trip to the mall, and I was like, where is the Gap? You know, on like the mall
I
directory.
thought you said the cap. and
No,
I'm
the
not
Gap.
lying. What did you say?
On jaw, no cap.
On jaw, no cap, bro.
Go buy some pants.
But no, I need to go to the library at least.
All right.
Because you guys, whenever we make this deal, would it be all right if I get like a cut of the money since I'm the one that designed the monocles?
I mean,
Because I don't have any money.
Oh, yes.
yes.
Of
That's
course.
no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
We've
don't-
been making all our gear. It's only fair.
Speaking of our gear, my spear, bro.
You keep bringing up this spear, which I went back and listened to the episodes. I can't find where you talked.
I know,
about
but we talked about it last time. I said I'd like a spear.
No,
And
I
then-
remember this. He said, I don't remember you talking about this. Let's talk about it after the session. And you did not mention it after the
No.
session.
No, it wasn't an after the session thing. In character, Mark's like, you brought up this spear once before, but I still have no clue what you're talking about. We still haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
You
I want to talk
you
about
came
it.
in yesterday, said I want a spear, and then you left.
I
And
need
then now's the first time we're talking again.
because you had to go research those gems, so we couldn't talk about it.
It took me like 10 minutes.
All right,
it was
well,
an
I-
identify spell.
Well, we were busy, and anyways, I forgot. But all right, so
Raceland just has conversations that take place only in his head.
Like thinks
That
he's
would
talking,
make
but he
sense.
doesn't.
It's like I said it in my mind.
I know exactly what I want in my head. I just gotta give you the info, okay?
If you want to write it down for me, because I mean, I would like to go to the library.
No, you can. I'm not gonna make you make my spear. I'm
Well,
just
I'll
saying.
make your spear. Just write it down for me, and then I'll worry
Yeah.
about the kinks, whatever here or there I need to do.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm glad that we're finally able to
Talk about it.
talk about this.
For a moment, dab me up.
With the spotted snow quail. Sorry, I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, but
Spotted snow cone.
quail.
Quiz.
Okay.
Like the bird.
Yeah,
that
the
was the
bird.
window.
Fully by your window.
Yeah.
This is giant snow.
Now snow cones exist in this world.
I mean, you guys are next
Create
to a
them.
mountain.
We can make like a little cart.
If any,
When
there
I
are two places that would have ice cream or snow cones, and it would be Javron or Farum because they're both mountainside
Let's
cities.
go get some gelato.
So, when I released the quail, it didn't like retain any sort of like message because I didn't purposely say like I place a message
Yeah.
in it. Would they know that I received it by me like just not touching it and like letting it go back?
If it returns, they know you've received it, and it's already like that's not something you can stop unless you kill the bird.
Well, I feel like they would still think
The
that
letter's missing.
I
You
got-
have the letter.
got it. Well, no, like even if I killed it, they would probably still think that I got it because it didn't come back.
Or it got killed in transit. It would.
True.
There's either way. The way it's set up right now, they think they will probably think you got it, but it will take him like another like month, or like it'll take him like half a month to get back to Captiosis.
Okay.
So while it is an animal messenger spell, it still has a travel time of how many miles it can go a day. Though the time will definitely change if you guys do go to Armstead, because it's definitely closer.
All right. Mark, do you need any ingredients for preparing health potions? Because we will need to start cranking those out for our journey.
If someone would, give me the money to go buy enough. How many? Okay, so how many are we wanting?
Like 2 per person.
2 per person, so 10.
Perhaps
Do you want me? It'll take longer, but do you want me to make better ones, like more potent, or just fine with the ones that I gave you last time?
How much longer?
I think it would add maybe a day. It turned from like a 1-day thing to like maybe 2 to 3 days, and I mean, the plan as of now is going to Farum, right? It's at least 300 miles between, at the least 300 miles between Javron and Armstead, not including the boat ride that's probably going to take us another week or 2. So I could very easily make you guys potions during that journey. And then that doesn't change the fact that we might be stuck in the city a lot longer than we anticipated, depending on how your conversation goes with Alan.
True. I was mainly just wanting them to be, at least a majority of them being done before we leave the city, because obviously within the wilds there are dangers to
Okay.
encounter.
I think it's like 500 GP pop. So if you're wanting that much, that's 500 times 10. So I need 5,000 GP to go buy the supplies. Croesus, would you be willing to carry the tent for me?
Oh, yes.
So that way I can just throw the stuff in there and we don't
I
have to carry
think
it.
before we go,
But
we
I'm
should
the tent
probably
guy.
get to talking to Alan and get our pay and the notches on our cards.
True, and
Get
Street
everything else,
cred.
Then we go shopping.
oh,
Cinema magic. As you guys talk about this, you see a letter boy come in doing his daily routines because it's morning, so he's trying to go around and he's doing like the richer area where you guys are in, like the cityscape or like the town hall governing area first, since it's closest to the mail. What's that? Post office. I was gonna call it the mail shop.
Place with the mail.
He comes in and hands it to the front desk, which is sort of in line of sight of you guys. Like, you can see the mail coming, and then the guy sort of divvies it out and is about to like looks in there and sees you guys all there, and so he like walks over. The blonde man that's been the front desk taker for you guys for about a month now. He's like, all right, this just came in, and it says your guys' names, so I'm just gonna leave it here rather than deliver it to your rooms like normal. So here you go. He plops it down.
This is the bear talking.
No, the bear is off behind. The bear's a black-haired guy. He's off. He's the bartender. This is the receptionist. But yeah. So he hands it off and goes away. Whoever opens it, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna say. It's Alan. He's writing to you guys, and he says, and it's like, good job for what you did with Kramer. Would you be willing to join? I know it's redundant to ask a question in a letter, but would you be willing to join me for dinner tonight to talk about the implications of what this means, as well as discuss your payments? It'll be at this time. It'll be at 5 in the evening. Just show up at the town hall if you're accepting.
I could go for some more pasta. How about you?
Indeed.
Free food.
You
That
guys have been eating free food.
that mushroom
More
that,
free food.
that mushroom and cheese ravioli was to die for.
That was
Yes,
not there.
I enjoy consuming food.
Yes.
Even though
Normal
you
things.
threw all of it out.
That reminds me. Before we go, we need to grab a few more bottles of that liquor we had yesterday.
Ah, yes.
That was a champagne, first off.
Whatever drink we had, it was
Suave
good.
champagne.
Too fancy for me. Don't know.
I don't care about the name. It just tasted good.
Yeah, this Italian food's way too
Probably
fancy.
So-
keep it just in case you get into any rough social spots. You know.
Okay, so Mark's going with Croesus. Is anyone else going with Croesus on the shopping trip?
I'll go with them.
I would,
Heck yeah,
I
squad
would
up.
like to get the money before.
Where are we dropping, boys?
I just said
By the way,
squad up. That could have been
how are you
anything.
guys- how are you guys divvying up the 5K that you're giving to Mark to go buy potion supplies?
We could all
Each give 1,000.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we pay for our own potions.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Okay. I just
Yeah.
wanted to get that out.
Yeah,
of the
we
way.
each give 1,000.
So Mark, Raceland, and Croesus are all going to are shopping together. Is anyone else like shopping with them, or is everyone else going to do shopping on their own, or like stay back at the tent and do research or whatever?
How much?
Yeah, I'll wander aimlessly around with them.
How much good paper and ink for like spell writing would you say I have on my person? Because I don't think I've ever addressed that.
I think you would.
Because I have a
think
I have a scholar's
whatever-
pack.
Whatever you've been using up with your leveling up, so it's probably about time to go get some.
Well, I haven't copied
I'm
down
just-
any
I'm
spells.
just flavoring it as like you need to go get some, since we never talked about it. So I'm giving a canonical reason why you need to go get some.
Okay,
I
so
just propose before we go, we get our pay so we can purchase the really good stuff.
Before we head out, Croesus would like to. He knew Faramir was getting at something. He'd like to remember, like the human customs.
Oh, you're trying to remember human customs.
Yeah.
We're humans.
Go ahead
Customs.
and make a history check. I will let you know that the DC is fairly high.
Oh, okay. 11.
You have no clue besides what appears. Faramir thinks that they are very racist.
Well, no, he didn't say that.
Oh,
No.
he didn't say that?
No.
He thinks he does think it's weird that you're a human, so you get the idea that maybe you shouldn't say anything about, you shouldn't say anything about being a human.
So Croesus walks up to Faramir. So,
Faramir.
Faramir, humans, what about them? You seem interested in
I'm lacking context. Would you mind enlightening me on what you mean by what about humans?
Well, earlier we were talking about, you said it was interesting where I came from, and I just want to know why.
Oh. I do forgive me for my impertinence earlier. I did want to apologize about that. It's just, obviously,
Oh, you're forgiven.
because of the political tensions between the Car Empire and the Moldovan Concordance.
Oh, yes, the political tensions, yeah.
I just, it's just odd, out of the ordinary, but it does not change my view of you, Croesus. I think
Oh,
you
that's-
are an exception to most of your kind's rule.
That's lovely, an exception. So what?
To, well, I mean, I'm thinking on this honestly. I think most humans are probably not terrible. It's honestly just the Car Empire. But I think, when it comes to you, I think you genuinely are a good person that wants to make the world a better place.
Humans aren't good people.
Unlike the leaders
Ooh,
of the
they
Car
lie.
Empire specifically.
Sell people into slavery.
Oh, I see.
Not a
Office
fan.
stays quiet about the
They
slaves
participate
doing
in
that.
politics.
Yeah, screw the humans.
Damn bureaucracy.
Slavery. Stop looking at me like
Is that you and
that.
your guys' conversation
And, yeah, Croesus is musing over that.
about being an exception?
Yeah.
Okay, so the groups are Mark and Raceland and Croesus, and then you other
We
three.
want our
What are you
pay.
doing?
I'm gonna wander around aimlessly.
You're just walking. Okay.
Yeah.
Fairmar, what are you doing while these guys go shopping? Are you joining them, or are you gonna go shopping on yourself, or by yourself, or read something?
On myself.
Office. Wait.
Quick question.
Stupid
Did we ever
nerd.
address how we were gonna carry around the bank we made?
We have the 10.
We have the tent.
Yeah. But it's gonna be quite hard for.
It depends on
The
where
way-
everyone
it
is.
seems that there's some sort of magic that's keeping it. Much like the.
I don't doubt that the tent can carry all the money. I'm more asking how we're gonna get all the money into it if we're leaving it here. And it sounds like I'm the only
No, we're
one.
not leaving. We're taking the 10. We're taking the 10 shopping.
Shouldn't we get our money before so we can really buy all the stuff we need? Make sure
I
we
mean-
have all the funds.
I mean, we're not gonna need a whole
Well,
lot.
We're just buying. I'm going to the library. I have no clue if he's. Raceland's just joining us for shopping. I don't know if he's.
I'm
actually
getting
getting
rations.
We need to calculate out how far we're gonna be going first before we do that.
I mean, we know we're gonna go there, so. Right.
I mean, like, yeah, you guys know how long that journey is going to be between us. You guys can estimate how many. You guys know how many miles.
oh,
and
yeah,
then
we
you
don't know
can-
where we're gonna leave. Never mind.
You guys can take like that's. There's a possibility of you guys completing that in like 2 weeks. That's like a 2 weeks journey for you. Because the last one was only a 4 week journey, and it was like 450, and this one's like less than 350, but more than 300.
Who's going to a place that's like that would sell paper? Because I would be going with
Mark
food.
is going. Mark is going to.
I have a
library.
clicky pen,
There's
but no
probably
paper,
other
please help.
stores that pertain to books and such around the
Okay.
library. So if you want to join the.
That's all.
three-
That's all Faramar is interested in is ink and paper good enough to copy down spells.
And then.
I was gonna go actually get the money, so I imagine.
Well, it's at 5 o'clock is whenever the talk of money is all going to be. So
Okay.
you guys have like a day
Yeah.
ahead of you before.
In that case, Apophis would probably go shopping, and then just recommend that along the way we should find a way to go get the notches as well, so we can knock that out while we're needing it.
Okay. Well, if okay, so Barash, you're the only one that's not with the group, right?
Huh?
You're just wandering around aimlessly.
I'm wandering with them.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a shopping.
No, he's looking for another person to murder in an alley.
Because you said
No.
that you were walking around aimlessly, so I thought you weren't.
No,
gonna
with
be.
them. That's
That's
not.
not. You can't walk around aimlessly whenever the people
Well-
in the party are going.
Well, I have no
to-
purpose. I'm just walking with them. That's
Can-
what I mean, right?
You can't aimlessly walk if everyone that's leading has a
I'm
destination.
aimlessly walking with a purpose.
Yes, Harry.
Can I do a just general either perception or investigation to see if I see any shops that look interesting or unique.
Yeah, sure.
Thrift
Go
shop.
ahead.
Thrift shop.
Okay, I'm gonna do investigation just because that's
Yeah.
my higher stat.
It's one or the other.
Oops.
They pretty much do the same thing, sort of.
Yeah.
Actively perceiving is the same as investigating.
I think another thing we might want to dedicate a little bit of our funds towards might be some more magic gems, so we can keep enchanting our equipment. Especially if we're trying to go into a place that's got a specific issue going on. Try to plan ahead.
23.
23. While you're walking, what are you guys doing?
I made a joke that hopefully didn't get picked up by the camera. I mean
That
We're
is the
apparently
one thing
filming.
we don't have.
Yeah, we're actually on
The
Twitch right
microphone.
now.
Okay. Well, at this point, you might want to like perk some ears up. But you look around, Harry, and actually, the most interesting shop with that roll that you found was this quaint little like pastry store that's sort of like just sitting in the corner, sort of like not next to the place that you're exiting, but sort of like there's like okay, so for the governing district, it's sort of like a circular sort of mall area with an area that sort of like leads off to the stairs to where the like courthouse was being built that you guys found the door, and where the city hall is. And your place of stay seems to be sort of like where political people from other cities come in and stay at. So there's not a lot of attendance right now, but that's where you're staying. And then there's like a walkway that sort of leaves that sort of open
Tourist
mall area.
district, basically.
Well, not many people live in this district. So upon like the entrance, like this, like up top is the courthouse and the place. This is where you guys are staying, and this is a walkway running into the mall area. And right next to it seems to be some sort of pastry shop that set up there for the workers that come in the morning. And it's sort of like a donut shop for policemen, except fancier, and for politicians, as well as the guards.
Ooh. Croesus perks it. We should go there.
Indeed.
I think we've earned a
Anyone
treat
else?
after this time.
Lovely.
Whatever our pastry is.
You guys had a good protein-filled breakfast, and now you're wanting to spike it with some sugar so you have energy for the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh heck yeah!
We're
Stimulus.
finally able to be tourists. We're off the job.
Tourists.
So
Tourists.
you guys, you guys like approach, and this seems it's strange. This one doesn't have writing as like the name, but it has like most like old. It's strange. It's in a very like fancy place of like high learned people that are obviously in the political district, but they don't have. It's not like written sign. It's a picture that most often is used in lower income areas to allow people to understand, but that don't know how to read. Like a lot of taverns will have like a dancing rat or something like that. So the tavern's called Dancing Rat because it's a picture of a dancing rat. And this thing, much similarly, has a picture of sort of like this cauldron with like some sort of like fluff coming out of it. I say fluff.
The smoking
You can
cauldron.
like overhear people talking about it.
The
It
puffy
seems-
cauldron.
It seems to be called the dough-filled cauldron. That's a tongue.
Cauldron.
Go ahead.
Dough-filled cauldron.
Hey, audience,
Dough-filled
say
cauldron.
Say it
Irish.
5 times fast.
Dough-filled cauldron. Dough-filled cauldron.
No, audience, say Irish wristwatch 5 times fast. That'll get you.
Or
that'll keep you
yellow
occupied.
leather, red
Irish
leather.
wristwatch.
You can do it.
You guys, and there's like seating outside. There's not really seating inside. It seems that the majority of the people sit outside and enjoy the food out there, and we're like
Food in heavy quotation marks.
The food.
So you said it distinctly when you said the sentence.
Faramar is already sitting in one of the chairs.
It's not a. It's like a you walk up to the.
Did you already just
waiting
sit down?
for-
Freaking, this
one
is
of the-
mine.
It's one of those ones where you go inside and there's like a counter with glass and has like the stuff, and you like get in line and like order your food, and then they hand it to you from behind the counter.
I demand
so
to
it's
be
like Daily
served.
Donuts.
It's a.
I
it's
want
a
your
pastry shop.
chairs.
Yeah.
And then you take your food outside and you sit yourself. That's sort of how it is.
Faramar just expects to be served.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think you guys go in, and at the front you see this. Not a bear again, but he is a very hairy man.
This time he actually is a bear.
No, it's a very, very hairy halfling. And he sort of has like the rolled up things, but he's standing tall. He's standing like eye level with you guys, which means he's standing on some boxes behind the counter.
just
This is the second
And
halfling.
he has like a white button up, and like an apron on with like the same picture from the outside. But on his head, he has this witch's hat that has like a bent top, and he's like black beard, hair on the arms, very Italian man, Greek man sort of vibes. And he's standing there and watches you approach it. As you approach, who wants to go first?
Croesus like walks in front of Faramir and just, like leans over the counter. So, would you recommend brownies or cookies?
Neither. It's morning.
And
I'd recommend a scone.
a scone. What is that?
It's like rolled bread, but you could put cream cheese in it or jam,
Can't you put that in unrolled bread?
but it's baked differently.
Uh-huh.
I'm not the chef. I needed a job. I'm
Give
the
me
new
your
hire.
money, please.
I don't know what goes on back there. I'm new hire.
Okay. I'll
Uh,
have your
Faramar leans over
Finest
Croesus'
scone.
shoulder. It says, "Do you have any blueberry scones?"
Yeah. I mean, points at the clear glass counter that has everything labeled. Just tell me what you want.
I'll take 6 of those.
What the?
Well,
What
well,
are
you may have
these?
come in together. Let me take care of this guest first. What you want? Would you like a scone?
the finest one, please.
Just point out which one you want, because beauty's in the eye of the beholder, sort of deal.
Croesus like
What
Gets-
color do you want?
They're all the same, bread colored.
Croesus like presses his like not his face against the
His
glass,
gr-
but like the
Cloak.
yeah
The, like cloak, like plants.
yeah. Just that one.
You point at like one that's not too big, not too small, but it has a nice curve to it, and it doesn't seem to be like crumbling.
Got curves. I don't know.
And he's like, okay, what do you want to smear or any sort of? I don't want to say dipping sauce, but that's pretty much what it is.
Sure, I'll have a smear.
What smear would you like? We have raspberry, blueberry, we have cream cheese, and we have wild berry.
Wildberry.
All right. And then like gets you like this little cup, and it has like a spoon in it, like dug into the thing, and he like puts it on the plate. Yeah, that'll be like 1 gold since it's only 1.
Okay, I give him 2.
Overpriced.
Okay, thank you. And then he puts the thing in the tip jar, and then puts the other one in the cash register.
Okay.
Thank you for your patronage. Go ahead and seat yourself outside, since this seems to be for here, because I forgot to ask. My bad. New at the job. But just there's a like shelf out there with a bunch of plates. Whenever you finish, just put your plate there, and we'll call it good.
All right. Thank you.
And then, you walk out.
Yeah.
As you walk out, you like survey over the like tables and stuff, and there's not many people here because like the breakfast rush has ended. You guys were eating breakfast during the rush, and then like you've come in afterwards. But you look around and there's like a couple people here or there. There's like a couple elves over here, a guard that seems to be like from the night shift having his meal as he goes home. But often like the corner area, there's this woman with a long black dress and long black hair, and she has a newspaper in front of her. It's just sort of like holding it up and like really close to her face, and you can see that she's like looking around at you and like leaning back into the newspaper.
Okay, Croesus is like walking forward, and then he notices her, and then like veers off in the other direction.
Away from her?
No, towards her, but like awkwardly.
Just like, oh,
Yeah.
so you join her?
Yeah. I set my pastry down and sit down. Hello, ma'am? Yes, there's a murder in there. Did you read about it?
It's like,
That was so.
that was like a couple days. This was like a new newspaper.
Oh.
She's sitting there.
All the mics just went boom.
She's sitting there, and she looks around the thing, and you get a clear vision of her face, and it's a woman you've talked to before, not Mona, but another woman that you know quite well.
Oh, well, hello again. How are you?
Grab the other side.
Okay, I grab.
He grabbed the wrong side.
You guys are now sharing a newspaper that's covering the entirety of the table, and you're blocking.
How
her
long
face.
is this newspaper? How big is the table?
They're like, it's like a circular table, so they're like next to each other's, but they're like turned around.
We covered the entire table.
Can I walk over there?
Well,
You haven't ordered. You're
Is
still
it
inside.
Croesus
I don't
like
want
like
Scone.
7'2"
I don't know what
or
he's-
scones
something?
No, he's
are. I've never had a
6'1".
He's
pastry
6'6".
or barrage.
He's tall, but not 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I know
Oh.
what they are. I'm not
The
stupid.
taxes are
Barrage
outrageous in the city.
you know for a fact that's not why I'm here.
Yeah, I assumed.
Still having trouble with small talk, I see.
Yeah, your book isn't very helpful. I think it's full of lies.
No?
Oh, I might be just misremembering it. I have a problem with that.
I know.
Okay.
There's 2 reasons that I'm here.
For the pastries, right? This is Wildberry.
That is wonderful, and that's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm here. I'm here for 2 reasons, like I said. The first one being to congratulate you on your first job well done.
Well, thank you.
Though, while it may not have been an undead soul, it was still a soul evading its time of gone.
It's time of gone. Did you just have a stroke?
Twine costs.
That's
The
one.
joke is that joke has no context for what's happened in this campaign so far. This is not. It hasn't happened.
I don't think I've said coin cost yet. I said it earlier, but I didn't say it. I haven't said it on mic yet. I don't think. But
That's one way to put it.
she's like, I just wanted to let you know that good job. Not happy about the circumstance and it being one of your friends, but either way, you're fulfilling your
Promise?
side of the agreement.
Yes.
I also came because I have information about the Horde Master.
You do?
Yeah. Well, it's not information, it's a hypothesis that I've been dwelling on for a while, and I think it's become... because I know a thing or two about some things, I know where people are dying and where people aren't fully dying.
I
And
see.
So where that patch is where I can send you. Though it is a question of whether or not it is him or not, because that place was always filled with death, but now it's being filled with undeath. The middle of in the middle of the war zone, the strip of land, if we went directly towards the capital Imperium of the Ka Empire, we would eventually run into an area that's currently being filled with undead.
Close
I
to the Imperium?
Hmm?
Yes, you said close to the Imperium?
What?
He was just like asking about the exact location.
It's if you went from Javron to Imperium by way of forest, you would run into an area of land that seems to be filled with undead soldiers. Whether or not the Horde Master's there or not, who knows? But it's the biggest area of undeath that I know of. And I just wanted to let you know as like next place that you might want to look if you are looking. Or I know you're looking. You're contractually obligated to look. But yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know because while I may not be able to talk to you via like magics and stuff, I can still get you the information that you need to fulfill your side of the bargain.
Well, thank you very much. I just have one question that's not completely related, but was I a good person?
I don't know.
No.
I don't. My deal is not with the living, but with the dead. So, however you lived your life is unknown to me.
Another question. How are they doing?
Who?
Well, the mother and the daughter.
They're still dead. But there's not much I could do about that.
I see.
Though, while they are dead, I do not know where their souls are.
I see.
Is that all?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. She like folds up the paper and like hands it to you, stands up, sort of dusts herself off from like whatever croissant she was eating, and you watch her as she walks around into like the darkness of the like alleyway, and then just seems to disappear from sight.
Okay.
And while this was all happening, what do you want, sir?
6 blueberry scones, if you would be so kind.
Fat.
And excuse me, sir.
Why do you want so many?
Why
Are
do
you
you need
wanting-
to question such things?
Are you wanting them to go, or are you eating them here, or do you want to eat them here but also have a box in case you don't finish?
The last one. And
Correct. And then you like pull out like a paper sort of bag thing.
do you sell coffee? Perhaps like a latte?
Let me talk to my manager. You see him as he like hops off the boxes and completely disappears from sight.
Can we just see the hat?
You can't bounce up and down.
As he like goes back into the door. You don't hear anything. Comes out like a minute later. He's like, we can have one out for you right pretty soon. That'll be 8 gold.
Very well. And I hand him 10 gold.
Again, tip jars right there.
But isn't it so much more satisfying to place the tips in there and see it fill up by your own volition?
No. because at the end of the day, it gets split between all the staff. So it's in the end not my own volition, and that's how capitalism works. What about you, sir?
I tried recently a thing at friends we visited. Do you happen to have any, I believe it was called garlic bread?
No, that is like an appetizer for a meal. This is like desserts.
Did you bring me any coffee?
Yeah,
Okay.
In that case, I will, I guess I'll take just some, I think he kind of, is there like a menu or anything? Or
Yeah.
like labels over things?
like all the things are labeled.
He just kind of looks at.
There's donuts too if you just
He
want to.
just like randomly like swirls around, stops. I'll take some turnovers. Two of them.
All right.
I'll take them. Yeah.
What kind of turnovers do you get?
He pointed at random ones.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Okay.
2 gold.
All right. And Apophis, just wanting to make their tips look bad, gives 2 and then drops 18 in there.
Okay.
This is gonna like progressively go up. It doesn't matter. It's just boom.
You,
Just
sir?
wants to show up.
I'm gonna walk over to Raceland. What are these?
Scones?
What is this?
A pastry?
What are pastries?
They're this. I walk up to you, tip 50 gold, and walk away.
I take out one of my blueberry scones. I'm like, here, try.
Am I
Yeah.
able to shove the entire thing in my mouth at the
Very
same time?
much so.
Yes, I do that.
Don't even
No.
taste it.
Yeah.
You
Bite-
just swallow it.
It is so fluffy, and the blueberry just sort of coats the entirety of your tongue.
It's called.
It
It is being cut out.
being-
I don't
Why
know.
would I cut out? In the end, it is an amazing food, and it is a quite magical experience. You
So.
Shut up.
more
Sorry.
of a play on the fact that it's called a dough-filled cauldron, but yes, sure.
I use prestidigitation.
Cleaning up. This is all getting bleeped, by the way.
No.
Like me saying the
I use
okay, so you
Talk about a.
I
I'm sorry, I
use
get to-
prestidigitation to create a little tiny glass, and I pour a little bit of my coffee, and I'm like, try some of this with it.
Why is it brown?
Trust me, it's good. It's like tea, but a lot stronger and
didn't-
very good with pastries.
You did not answer my
You
question.
can create a physical object with prestidigitation?
yeah, you can make a handheld trinket.
Yeah,
Wow,
a small
okay. I
one
thought-
that lasts for a little bit.
Yeah, but I was
It
thinking.
lasts 6 seconds.
Wait, so
Only
can you make?
lasts
It
6
lasts
seconds.
6 seconds.
Can you make a
I
rock?
thought it
throw-
lasted like an
Wait,
hour.
Can you
No.
can you make a rock, throw it at someone, and then just walk away? And the rock disappears.
I
so
was
they don't
thinking-
know what hit them.
I was thinking minor illusion, so I thought he was just like pouring it on the ground. And just,
No.
But
Wait, does the cup last like 6 seconds? I gotta drink it.
I mean, based on what Matthew's saying, yes.
Yes.
No, it lasts. Wait. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
It does last 6 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna go
But
to like.
drink it quick.
I'm gonna like look at him confused. I'm gonna take it. I'm like start to drink. It's just gonna pour.
is it hot?
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, it's hot. It's fresh.
But I have resistant fire.
Is
so
it
doesn't
fire?
matter.
It's
You
just
just,
a
like-
hot liquid.
Well, like I'm freaking. I breathe fire.
Resistant.
As this is all happening, you guys are walking out, and you see.
Wait, I didn't get to
like,
order.
You didn't tell me. If you,
I
are
want
you-
2 out. What are the things?
If the spill,
Scones.
if
2
the,
apple scones.
if the
And a bear
spillage
claw.
happens, I'll use precipitation to clean him up.
Okay, so with the bear claw, do you want the bear claw? Because that's 3
No, I
gold.
want the I want the bear claw. Now.
Okay.
Why
Bear
do you
claw
want?
and the scones, or
What?
bear claw and the scones?
Yeah.
Or yeah, you get 3 gold.
Hey Connor, did you mark off 50 gold?
3.
I thought you did 15.
I did 50.
Oh,
What the
These
freak?
guys are getting paid today.
Alright.
Yeah, I just kind
I
of
mean,
like
it's for the staff, not the establishment.
massive RBF. Just look at him, drop it in, and then walk off.
Okay, so then he hands you your stuff. You guys all go outside and you see Croesus sitting at a table by himself with a folded newspaper.
Well, you see him with a Firmer's clicky pen, and he's flipped to the crossword puzzle, and he has his thesaurus out as well, and he's just sitting
Wait,
there.
so like the freaking word searches that are like
Yeah.
little kids menu things you could order
it's
at a restaurant?
It's a newspaper.
Yeah.
With a word search.
Yeah,
I
a
don't
crossword.
I was making a joke. Thank you. Thank you
He's
for
making a joke.
I was gonna make a joke about the joke.
Okay, so you guys just go sit down, eat your meal.
Consume.
And, I guess you guys are gonna go shopping. I think we're just gonna jump forward in time and do the shopping.
Yeah, that's fine.
So Mark buys the supplies. You guys put it up. He's gonna go to the library after this encounter and like do some like get some or like look for some books. I take it you go get the paper.
Yes. So
It's
I
like-
was trying to calculate how much I would need because I want to copy down Kramer's spells from his spell book.
Isn't it like 20 GP a page?
50 GP a page.
50? Okay.
So that
We're gonna up that to 100 by the way, since the gold system for D&D and my world are different. Just so you know. What are you trying?
so 100 gold per spell of
Yeah,
paper.
100
Okay.
gold per spell. Oh, well, of ink too. You're also needing ink.
Okay.
If anything, you're gonna run out of ink before you run out of paper.
200
Your magic clicky pen doesn't do need a lot of ink.
for
What were you buying, Matthew?
200.
I'm currently looking at that.
Okay. You were gonna.
I was gonna buy rations, but I don't know when we're gonna leave. So
I mean, rations, like, their whole shtick is not going bad. So if you guys think you're gonna leave within the next week,
probably. So I just.
so then you can buy them. So you could buy. It would be 3 worth at. To be safe, you'd want to buy 3 weeks worth of rations,
Okay.
and
Derek,
that's.
the amount changes per level also. So like first level is just flat 50, and then like second level is 100 because it
it
doubles
doubles.
every time.
Well, we'll just go with the. We'll just go with the it doubles from the 100 because like spell adding
Okay.
is like a little bit harder. And I mean, you guys are just about to come into money, so. But
Yeah. So how
It
much
would
is
be
3
a-
weeks?
it would be so for like a week's rations for a person is 10 GP, so that's 5 times 3 times 10. So that would be
150.
1,500,
Oh, 1,000.
I believe.
Yeah.
No, that'd be
Probably.
150.
Wait. Oh. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you were right. No, it's 15 times. Yeah, 15 times 10, 150. So yeah, you got 150 for the whole thing.
Okay.
Raceland, are you buying anything?
I'll buy some. What do they have besides rations?
Yeah, at like a normal store, they'd have like there's like you're at like a general store, so they'd have like
Okay.
rope. You could buy lumber if you wanted it. Paper.
Freaking
Like,
giant log.
Anything that's sort of like there's ball bearing, or I guess there's caltrops, but not ball bearings. There's like bags. There's like traveler's clothes, walking sticks, daggers, like skinning daggers, tents, sort of anything that like a traveler or a farmer would need, sort of deal.
Okay. Yeah. So then I'll get rations
I just got
You
rations.
just bought the rations.
for all of us.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I thought that was just for you. I'll help you pay for some of the rations.
No, I'm tired of writing down numbers.
Okay then. I don't take my help, and I will buy nothing and stand there.
Okay. You guys pack everything up. Everyone buys their stuff. Mark comes out of the library. Oh yeah.
Apophis is going to want to go, and seeing how awful his range stuff was, thinking he should probably buy a longbow.
And I'll go with him to buy a hand crossbow.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can find those pretty easily.
I wanna go with them. I need a
take it
weapon.
You have the price pulled up, Matthew, right?
Cost 50 gold.
For a longbow?
Yes, longbow.
Okay. Then that would be up to 500 in my world.
500 gold. Yeah, I can pay for that. And how many for like 20 arrows?
And I think it's like a silver for an arrow. I think.
Yeah,
So
so
then
just
it would
like
be
one-
it'd be
one
1
each.
gold per 1 arrow. So
Yeah.
you 20 gold for a
I'll get
bundle of
30.
arrows.
So mark off 530.
Okay.
So
But you'd also need a quiver, which adds like 15 gold.
Okay, so
And a quiver can only hold.
545.
Yeah, a quiver can hold 45 arrows. By the way, that's a stupid
545.
D&D fact that I know. Do you buy a crossbow with bolts?
Yeah, hand crossbow. How much?
That would probably. Yours was 500, so I
Yeah.
believe yours would be like. Yours is more of a machination, so I'd say 250. Because while yours isn't as powerful, it still is sort of like a complicated thing. And then same price for the arrows and quiver. So, I said it was 1 gold per bolt, and
Mhm.
then 15 golds for a quiver.
Okay.
Do they have any special daggers at this place?
They have daggers that are specialized in skinning, but not combat.
Not combat. Do they have anything
These guys
for?
are in like the hunting section. So.
All right. Do they have anything geared more towards offensive combat or defensive hunting?
Are you looking for like a shield or something? I don't
Not
think
a
you're proficient
shield.
with the shield.
I'm not. I want a I don't know how this would work, but I want more like a. I just want a better dagger.
The only way to get a better dagger than the one that you have now is through enchanting or through blades made of special metals, or like special magical metals, such as like mithril or adamantine, or any of the other special metals that I have a list of somewhere. So
Would
just give me
they
a second.
have anything like that here, like in a back room for high roll customers?
You could go to a different store. This like whole time is taking up like an evening or like a whole day for you guys. So you could go to a blacksmith that would probably have it, because these guys are in a mountain area, so they do mine. So they might, while most of the magical metals are produced in Ferrum, these people might have mithril or adamantine weapons. So let me pull up what those do, and I can give you prices.
All right.
D&D.
what do you utilize with ranged weapons? Is it dexterity or something?
Ranged weapons are dexterity, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
So it is adding my proficiency.
okay, yeah. So there's not really a weapon for adamantine. It seems to be more used for armor. But a lot of people on D&D Beyond are suggesting that it become a +1 weapon if you make it with adamantine or
To
or mithril.
hit?
Yeah, it's a +1 weapon you add to hit and to damage. So you add a +1
Okay.
to both.
Yes, it's really good.
So if you're wanting to buy that, I think that would be like that would be rated as a that's an uncommon weapon, which is they would use a gem of 10 gem of 10k with whatever. Well, it's a special metal that they find, so I guess they wouldn't use a gem, but it's equal to that. So what you're looking at is like maybe like 15k dagger, which I don't think you have the money currently, but you will later, and you could just like say like come back the next day to get it. After you guys go get the money.
All right, so I'm going to talk to the blacksmith real quick.
You
Would
walk
it-
up to the blacksmith, and it's obviously it's going to be a dwarvish man
Mhm.
with a beard,
racist.
Another half.
red hair,
Racist.
red hair, sort of balding, but has like goggles on and like soot covering his face and head. Yeah, you just walk. He's like up at the front dealing with a customer, or having dealt with a customer, and is getting ready to go back. But he sees you walk in and attends to you. What can I do for you?
Hello, sir. I would love a dagger made with one of your most precious metals.
Precious or like
I'll say precious and
like I'd go with more powerful. Unless, are you wanting a silver dagger?
no, more powerful, and I kind of like wink at him.
I mean, I'm not. I don't do illegal things. But
No, not illegal. Just I want a really cool metal that will improve a dagger and make it more powerful than most
So,
others you'll encounter.
You can look at adamantine, or I mean, plating your dagger with silver does make it somewhat magical for some beasts, but Adamantine would make it all around.
I'd like the solid adamantine.
Okay, that would be 15k.
Could I give you 7k down and come back tomorrow and pay you the rest? So that you could.
I have one currently made. There's no one looking at it. If you do not come back tomorrow with said money, then I will put it back up for sale. Not tomorrow, but the next day.
Okay.
So keep your money. I'll just put it on hold, and then you come back tomorrow. And if you don't, then it goes on sale again. And then if someone buys it, you're fresh out of luck.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I'll leave.
And he goes back.
I'll try and meet up with these guys again.
Yeah, you guys are pretty much all in the same.
Oh, okay.
Hey, bro. Hey.
So who went to the library with me, if anyone?
Mark went.
Okay. So I did the calculations, and I need 1,800 gold worth of both ink and, so like combining the prices for ink
1,800
and
you said?
paper. Yes, for the spells that I'm wanting to get out of
You
Procurator's book.
You can easily find that
Okay.
because it's like special ink.
Yeah.
It's like leaded ink, but with some other sort of like maybe gold or something.
In it, yeah.
It's not inherently magic, but it's yeah. So you go and get that sort of at like the store next to the library. The library doesn't sell it specifically, but Mark goes into the library, and then when you come out, he comes out. You guys pretty much line up at the same time and come out and start rejoining the rest of the group.
Before we leave that area, though, I want to see if they have any detailed atlases or any kind of like archaeological reports on Javron specifically.
Javron specifically?
Yeah,
okay,
and
go ahead.
maybe Ferrum too, if I could do a little bit more research.
Roll a investigation, or do you have proficiency in investigation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you're good. If not, I would have given you history or nature.
I'm rolling pretty good today. Not combat things. Let's see. So that is 26.
26? Okay, so you find a sort of map of the city. It's like an atlas, but it's more like a flip book because there's not too many that they can make out of like a patch of land that's about like I believe the city's like 10 miles wide and like its longest part. So yeah, you find a map of Javron, and sort of like you have like the political map where there's like sectioning off of like, oh, this is residential, this is rural, agricultural, industry, all that. You have that sort of map. Then you have sort of the geological sort of map that sort of like shows elevations and stuff like that. There doesn't seem to be any record of like any outside writings about the any other sort of. There's two not geographical, but what's the study of archaeology? Archaeology report. The only things that really talk about are like the walls and the Grail and rooms. There's nothing outside of that because like it hasn't been too long since the door's been discovered, so there's obviously not been a publishing of that yet. But those seem to be the only two big things. You also find a similar thing of Ferrum, except it's sort of like a tourist guide, so it has sort of like this is the best place to go, all that stuff, and it talks about like how it has like it's rich in ancient dwarven culture from before the Ka Empire came in, and it's somehow it withstood both the test of time and the test of wars. And yeah, so it's it's sort of like Rome in the sense that there's a city built on top of ruins.
Okay.
But there's still like several dwarven things above that have been sort of excavated and revamped to sort of like, this is our culture sort of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much the most that you get. I don't know if questions. Yeah. That's pretty much all that you get from the information. Because, like I said before, this library isn't. The majority of the things. It's not like a grand library, you know?
There's some drunkards off in the corner making ruckus in the library, and I go over there with the heaviest tome I can find, and I slam it on the desk in front of them, and then I leave.
It doesn't actually
This is a
happen.
library. Please stop slamming books.
Shut the frick up, stupid
It
idiot.
doesn't actually happen. He's poking fun at the two apes on my left.
Well, you revealed where we are at the table.
trying to go
Yeah.
Slowly, the setup of our table will be revealed over audio.
Pregnant woman? Oh,
They know that. They know that you guys can see things from Harry's perspective easier than mine because I used his to orient the map, and we know that there's two apes to the DM's left.
Who are the apes? We don't know.
What apes?
But okay, so you guys finish up your shopping and research time, and I take it it's about 5 o'clock at this time. So you go to meet Alan. I take it.
Yes.
Heck yeah, more free food.
More food.
We had to pay last time. But
More food.
More pasta.
Okay.
I
So
want
you
to
guys,
bread.
you guys enter in, and you see the receptionist, and she sort of looks up and like perks up and is like, "I'll be right with you," and then like goes behind and gets like a guard or two, and then like they come forward and are like, "Okay, so follow us," and they like start leading you down. This time without putting a bag over your head.
I demand to be bagged.
I demand to have a sack put over my head.
They lead you down, and you guys remember searching this place before. They lead you down to the third door of the 8 that are on the right side. Open it up, walk in, and they walk over to a seamless wall with a bookshelf. And one of the guards,
Pulls a book.
one of the guards pulls out a little rock that he has in his pocket and sort of touches it against a spot on the wall, pulls it back, and then the bookshelf slides away.
they take off every single.
Yeah, like I'm like silently raging inside.
They take off every single book and every single
No,
shelf, and it opens.
That's what I did when we broke into the town hall. I was like,
This is just. Oh yeah, I remember breaking.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
And then they look at you and sort of just like usher their hands, and it's sort of like a hallway, and they like it's a hallway with a door on the right, and then it sort of continues off into like the darkness, since it's not lit too well down there. But he's like, first door on the left, walk up the stairs, and you'll be where he wants you to be. Do you guys go that way?
Heck yeah.
Seems we own some respect to you.
Heck yeah. Street cred.
Open door, go up. Well, we normally do it like 8:30.
yeah, I was just wondering.
We know the time
Bruh.
I'm just.
and daylight savings.
Crap, now they know that it's 8 here. Dang it.
Now
They
that
know
they're
the
where
day
we
we
live.
record videos.
Oh no, they're gonna
bro.
find us.
They're gonna track us down.
My address
You know what?
is.
Since we're getting rowdy, we'll just take a break now.
Social Security
So we'll
starts
see you guys
with...
in a bit. And we're back. Our party has just arrived.
Italian food.
Yeah, you guys just arrived in that same long-tabled. You guys went up a bunch of stairs, sort of like not spirally, but sort of like blocky, squared, going in a square up into a mountain, and you arrived at that same place that you were once before, with luscious food. There's a lot less guards here, but Alan's sitting there. Miss Abernanth is on his right, and Tony is on his left. Hold on, let me get the music rolling real quick.
The band starts up.
Yeah. The disconnected. Hold on. God damn it.
The band has to tune their instruments real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
We just awkwardly wait for it to go. We're
It's like,
doing
whoa
a
there, boy.
prayer right now.
Yeah. I see it's the heroes of Javron. Have finally made their debut. Come, join me at my table.
And behold, he is alive forevermore.
As you guys sit down and look closely, you can see Tony still in this sort of like black button-up getup. Is much like that one guard seems to have sort of a black sort of skin tone that sort of like goes up his neck as if he was affected by the same spell as that guard. But he's still standing and walking, and it seems that the color is not black, but is sort of like returning, but is still there.
It's good to see you alive. We were worried that we lost a good ally.
I'm glad I'm alive too. As a man of my occupations, it's pretty wise to carry a healing of some sort. Like a potion in a tooth, or a syringe that you can pop in your ring, so on and so forth. I managed to inject myself before my eyes covered in darkness and was left there to sit. Good thing he wasn't. Good thing he didn't check the body. He sort of just popped in and then left while I started blacking out. But yeah, no, thank you again for what you guys have done for Javron. I let in a monster and you guys managed to take care of it. I'm very thankful for that. Though it has cost me 2 of my peers and a couple of my men, I am also the one partially at fault for both of those things. But yeah, no. I am thankful for what you have done for this city. But enough formalities. Let's eat. And then I was like, please join me in prayer. And then sort of bows his head and silently says a prayer. And then looks up. All right. So, I'm not money man. I let Tony do that. So I understand you guys have some things that we need to discuss about money. So I'm gonna let him take over. You look over at Tony, the dwarven man with combed back, white hair and a short white beard, wearing a button-up with a black vest and a black tie. He sort of sits up in his seat and sort of pulls out a book that he had, or like a journal he had in his pocket. Hey, my name's Tony. I'm the one that's in charge of the money around here. So,
Takes a clicky pen out.
first things first, I understand that the bounty on his head, 100, or not 100 mil, 1 mil was the bounty. So we already have that packed up for you. Also, on your way out, we'll get your cards punched. I know you would Venture guild members are often looking for every punch you can get. But what's this talk of a magic glass that lets you see magic?
An office grabbing garlic bread. One set for Amar, since he's the magic person.
You, magic man.
Yes.
The snake has sold you out. Tell me your secrets.
Just one. So, on our expedition that we were initially assigned to, we found a cathedral past that door, and the windows were made out of a very unique type of crimson glass that we have come to call ethereal glass, because it seems to act as a semi-portal to the ethereal plane, in the sense of it allows light from the ethereal plane to travel through it.
I'm gonna stop you there. While I am interested in what it is, I'm also more interested in what it does and how it's supposed to benefit us. Ruby's not really the best at telling me magic, and neither am I. So, one inept person talking to another. I want to know what you're trying to sell to us.
It allows you to peer. It allows you to peer into the ethereal plane, which is essentially a free detect magic in
Meaning?
ways. You can see magic, different types of magic, and you understand what different types of magic are. So you can look at a person and be able to see any spells surrounding them with the naked eye by looking through the glass, and these can
What-
be used to make monocles
What-
for soldiers.
What kind of spells, though? What it? Sell it to me. What are you selling?
Any spells.
But what spells would I be looking for?
Hostile ones.
Yes, protection spells, hostile spells that could go off and harm your men whenever they're going into combat.
To solve crimes that could have used the magic, as we used to find Kramer.
Yes,
Instead
if
of-
you had a murderer that murdered someone, for instance, and teleported away, you would see a large amount of conjuration magic in that room through these lenses.
All right.
One other cool point, if you really want us to sell it to you, is that instead of asking someone to take all their weapons away, you can look through this monocle and you'll see all the magic on them, and you'll say, "Hey, get that out of here." I'm gonna look back down and continue eating.
I was gonna give Harry advantage on his persuasion check, but I don't know anymore. So
Fuck.
Harry just roll. Well, I was gonna give it to him because he was giving you the help action of what he was saying, but now I'm not sure if that helped. So Harry, go ahead and roll persuasion.
Fuck you.
He didn't help or hinder you. He was helping you.
It would have been advantage if he wouldn't have opened his stupid
No, it
mouth.
would've been-
Oh, natural 20! Booyah!
Harry, what I'm saying was he was giving you the help action by what he was saying, so then you would have had advantage. But then he said something stupid. So
I know, that's why I said, like, he could
Because
have.
then you could say, hey,
He
get that
could've-
thing out of here.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of
Forget
here.
about it.
Forget about it.
Hey, we
You
can't
gave
be
me
taking
hope,
it.
and then you tore it away
Can't
from
wait to
me.
hear
But yeah.
all the ears bleeding after that yell you did.
What?
The
Natural 20!
Hey! It's fine.
Natural 20.
Derek has to drag down anyway.
Okay, I see now.
You'll see even more with those monocles. Hey! Oh, I
You should
returned
stop
to
your party member before I
Croesus
end up
like puts his
not
hand
knowing the deal.
like
I'm-
Croesus puts his
Can I
hand
slap
vaguely
him
over
really
his
hard
face.
across the face?
All right,
So-
I continue eating.
So very subtly, Verimar is going to weave his fingers underneath the table and cast Prestidigitation twice and create a farting sound emitting from Raceland,
Why?
accompanied by a
Counterspell.
very horrible smell.
We'll see if you notice.
By a very
first.
horrible farting
So
smell.
Roll a sleight of hand. You're not actively looking for it, so we're going with the
Does-
Why the frick are
Alright.
you guys
Does he have
doing this
a
in the middle of a
monocle?
dare table? You're doing
But
a
he's
sales
doing it under the
pitch.
table.
Yeah, but does he have a monocle?
I mean, yeah, he sure has a
Okay.
monocle.
13.
13. What's your passive perception?
My passive
11.
perception is 12.
12.
Okay, but mine is 17, so I do see it.
Yeah, you do. You see him doing it.
Okay.
Well, you see him doing something under the table, and then you hear farting noises.
Yeah, coming from Raceland
I-
and then a really bad smell.
I pull out a piece of glass and I give it to the dwarf. And, well, you see, Faramir made a prestidigitation spell under the table, and you can see it.
Knows immediately.
I would never pass gas at a table such as this, my liege. You bitch!
You just see
I continue
slow
eating.
smile like curling on Faramir's face.
Okay, so now that I know what you're selling to us, what are you selling to us? Are you going to be producing X amount of these monocles or helmet embedments to us?
We can sell you the monocles, or for a little bit more money, we could sell you the patent and the design so that you can mass produce them.
Along with the glass, obviously.
Yes.
If you
Roll persuasion again.
I'll help.
You have
But-
to
Don't.
do something
All right.
to help.
All right, so I'll-
Does me giving him the piece of glass count as helping?
I mean, he doesn't. The prestidigitation spell, he's not like seeing it anymore because like it happened and then you handed him the glass and then you looked through. So he
No, I mean, technically, unless I say that I end one of the effects, it still goes.
The only thing that ends is
well,
But-
it lasts for 6 seconds. Remember?
physical objects last for 6
yes,
seconds.
technically, yeah. So, yeah,
I
with
can- I
offended.
can-
But that was a
on
6-second long fart
different
sound
for
and
all.
smell.
It's an instantaneous sensory effect. It doesn't say how long.
Okay,
Just
so
say it's like this.
A really long fart.
It says that it ends on your
Either
next
way,
turn, which
he-
is 6 seconds.
Either way, he didn't see it, so
Oh.
let's go with no for now.
okay.
I like how we went from having breakfast to now playing Shark Tank.
Give me a sales pitch.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
So that is a 20 unnatural.
Suddenly you're persuasive.
Yeah, this blue dice is really
Okay.
liking me.
Okay.
The charisma guy isn't doing the sales pitch.
The two charisma guys.
3.
Yeah, 3.
I'm charisma.
I'm also no, I don't have high intimidation. That's it. But decent charisma.
I'm a big boy, so I'm.
When diplomacy used to be a skill.
I think it'll be in our best interest to do the patent as well as the production materials. Because then we could make back our money selling the things to the other cities. So I think we'll go with that option. Now the question is the price for the patent. How much glass do you have?
Do we have a napkin, like near us, right?
Yeah,
All right.
not like a paper napkin, like a cloth.
Like a cloth, but like I could still write on it.
In ruin a cloth, yeah. Sure.
All right. Okay. Hey.
How would you do
Hey, give me your pen real quick.
I don't have it. Croesus does.
Croesus, hey, Croesus, give me the pen real quick.
What are you gonna do? With
I just
the
need it to write something down.
pen? Okay, I
Well,
give.
what are you gonna write it down on? You need a piece of paper.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
could
gonna
I-
take some cheap paper out of my pocket and just hand it to
Awesome.
Graceland.
Thank you. And then can I have that
Yeah,
pen?
yeah.
Awesome.
clicky pen?
So
Teamwork.
I'm gonna write down. Hey, how much are we? How are we thinking, guys? I just wanted to slide him this piece of paper. Seem, cool. I've always wanted to do that. Is that
You
okay?
wanted to hand me a piece of paper,
Well, slide it on the table.
but me specifically.
Yeah, because
It's the first time talking, and you've always wanted to hand me. a piece
No,
of paper.
no, just this action. Sliding a piece of paper across to someone who has.
We are several people apart from this table.
I can walk.
Then you won't be sliding it.
Well, I'll walk.
He's gonna
but
be sliding it across
with
the
my
entire
arm,
table in front of
and I'll
every
just
dish.
move my arm over. And if need be, I can grow much bigger and get a longer wingspan.
I think it'd be appreciated if you did not grow at the table.
In
In a much different way.
anyway,
How much glass?
in lieu of you
Um,
paying us at least 1 mil for the job in killing Kramer, I would say that a fair price would perhaps be, say, 500,000. Half.
First things first, you still haven't told me how much glass I'm getting. I still don't know everything about what I'm getting, so I would like to know that.
How much glass do we have?
I'd say you guys have 4 boxes of glass.
Which is
four like 4 foot by 4 foot boxes of glass.
how much would that be able to make, approximately?
It's just like it's a monocle, so that takes.
Monocles are very
it would be
small.
4. It would pretty much be the same amount of boxes of monocles.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't really give you a, because it's like this big and the box is like 4 by 4.
How many
so you could-
pounds of glass, just to make it more simple and all?
How's that gonna make it more simple?
Tony,
Because
sir,
saying
we have
box
4
is very
boxes.
relative. It could be a small
I said
box
4
or a
by 4
big
box.
box. That's
We-
still too long. Just
Can I-
tell me like 60 pounds of glass or.
That would not be
I
a
begin
4 by
setting up the tent in the, the freaking dining hall.
Besides, you told me that
I'll help.
Okay.
the economic stuff in your world is based on weight.
4. I said
Like your
yeah,
mom.
gold. is basically- the way-
Watch where you're moving your elbows, Bucko.
You're in his space.
Bucko.
Watch where you're
moving
your elbows.
I'm not all the way over here.
Wow, they can totally tell which mic you just went over to.
Yeah, bro. Like you could. Okay.
You're like drinking with
You're
his-
like drinking tea and you're like moving over to me, like you're trying to talk to me.
Apophis.
Yeah, I think it's tea, bro.
Perhaps we could just give them 2 boxes, make it simple. We keep that.
Why is that simpler?
2 boxes of how big?
4 by 4.
I set up the tent.
4 by
and
4.
I
4 foot by 4 foot.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Croesus.
That is also only 2 dimensions. What is the third?
4.
Okay.
10.
You could have just said a 4 foot square box.
Croesus is
I was
drawing
guessing on some of the
smiley
dimensions.
faces on a piece of paper.
No,
with
I
a-
have the pen.
I
Dude,
kind of like
You don't
motion-
take it from me.
Slide
I
of
motion
hand.
for it back.
I'm still clicking. And then I give it.
Okay,
Like,
then
you
So
get
well
profusely.
behaved the first time, but now that we're respected, we do not care.
Can I try to use Mage Hand to snatch the pen out of Croesus?
I'll use Mage Hand to fight his Mage Hand.
You can't see mine because
His
mine's
is
invisible. It's technically more like telekinesis. if
Oh, okay.
anything.
Well, can I tell what he's doing based on his motion?
I slap his hand to get rid of the mage.
I'm going to
As-
stab
As
everybody.
you guys are
Yeah.
committing these atrocious acts of party fails.
Foul. Oh, okay.
Yeah, party fouls.
Phallism.
You're gonna hear Tony go, okay, so how many boxes of those, so 2 boxes of 4 by 4 by 4. Is
Yes.
that how many boxes you're giving me?
Yes.
How about 3? What are we gonna do with 2 boxes full of glass?
Yeah, I'm with Croesus. Why do we? Why do we keep it?
How about we just keep like 1 box? Then?
Yes, 1 box.
I
Or
need at
less
least-
than 1 box.
I need at least 2 to construct the project that I'm working
These
on.
are
What project?
4.
What project? Why do you need this massive mirror?
Stop being obscure and tell
You
us.
don't. I haven't told you about the mirror.
Tell us.
I don't think I've talked to anyone about it.
Oh.
We
Do
talked
it.
about it this morning.
Yeah, we
You're
talked
like,
about
I
it.
need it for a project.
Yeah, I said a project. I didn't say mirror.
Yeah, but what else are you gonna do with glass? It doesn't take a
Window?
rocket
You don't know.
science.
You gave them a specific size. of
You're
the standard
assuming.
mirror.
6 by 5. That's like a body mirror. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out.
Okay, that is a theory that Raceland has come up with.
Exactly.
That is,
so
no,
this.
that is ethereal glass.
Okay,
You
that-
stupid.
Shut up. Okay, back to the. I am willing for 2 or 3 boxes.
3.
3. Screw you.
3 boxes.
How? What do
of
you?
this magic.
He's so.
Okay, let's just clear this up. How many boxes will I need to construct what I am wanting to construct?
Not even
two.
a full box.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 4 by 4, Harry. That's like that's like here on me.
Which is his chest.
No. I'm wanting to make a 7 foot tall by
You
5
said
foot
6.
Yes,
wide.
but it's flat.
Yes.
This is a 3-dimensional object.
There's so
I know.
much
I'm
glass.
talking about the mirror.
There's so much broken glass on the floor.
And loud noises.
Okay, so let's do some.
Quick math.
Today in Chaos Encumbrance, we learn geometry.
Math.
Harry-
Yay.
He's drawing something on a board.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna draw a square.
But make it 3
Harry's trying to build a house out of glass.
And he will be able to see everything.
including when
No
he's-
one will sneak up on
You
it.
just can't throw stones
No,
out of it.
He's
Derek,
freaking
you don't
taking a
need to
crap
make
on
a
a
visual
toilet
aid. I
and
literally
freaking
just need
looking
to know how much glass I'm going to need for
You
this
also
so that we
must-
can know how much
Less than
we're going to
one
sell.
box, and then you can
Okay,
flip it out.
then we'll sell 3 boxes.
Bruh.
Oh,
You don't need to give me a visual aid.
I'm not giving you a visual aid. I'm giving you a math aid.
Give you
5
visual
times
aids.
7 is 35 square feet. Okay, so 4 times 4 times 4 equals 64 cubic feet, which is a lot more than that much than 30 whatever square feet.
I understand.
3
okay.
boxes.
I don't need to be condescended to just because there was a misunderstanding about how much fucking glass we were gonna sell.
Drink your tea, Bruce.
Drink your tea, Bridget. Alright, sorry,
That might be coffee. I'm not sure. What are you drinking?
Is it good?
You don't get the privilege of knowing.
Yes, we don't get the privilege.
I didn't mean to be condescending, but yeah, my bad.
I didn't mean to call you a British person. I'm sorry.
You
just kinda
guys don't need to apologize.
It just kinda slipped
we're
out. I'm
we're
sorry.
literally assholes to each other all the time.
Oh,
But then don't guilt trip us. You're over here. You don't need to be condescending.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Tony
manipulate.
is still banging on the table.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, cutting this conversation short.
Oh,
He off-
thanks.
He offers you 250K for the box and the production stuff.
Okay.
Are you going with that much?
Yes.
350. No, 300K.
300K.
No, 3. Wait.
I'm
no.
kidding.
I
No.
said 500K.
Wait, what did I say? Never mind.
250 is more than enough because we wouldn't have even found this glass without the contract for Kramer.
Okay.
4 million. Croesus holds up this piece of paper.
What are you doing?
Bro, we get more
I
money.
just made a deal for $500,000
Yeah, but
gold,
he
and you're
said-
bringing it down.
4
said-
million.
And I was like, you know what? That's more than enough. I'm not a greedy person. I don't like to take.
I'm not a greedy person, but I like to take.
No,
Is that
I
what
don't
you-
like to take.
I mean, you did give, what, 50 gold as a tip?
And I mean, what doesn't go into this purchase could go towards rebuilding the piers.
I'm eating them.
You see a tad bit of guilt starting to color Faramar's expression.
Okay,
Barash, however, doesn't care. The beer deserved it.
Me want.
Okay,
The
so-
money and the chocolate. Give me the chocolate.
Okay, no, stop focusing on the chocolate. You're not even supposed to be eating.
I
right now.
even have brought that up here.
Screw you.
We're professionals.
All right.
I just want one.
So
Okay.
in total is 1.25 mil GP is what you guys will be walking out of the door with tonight.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Seeing as this conversation has taken up the entirety of the dinner, thank you for your thing.
Just freaking screwing around.
I don't have anything to say. I just enjoyed the dinner show. Have a good night, fellas, and I hope you take business courses in the future.
I do apologize for the destruction of one of your peers.
I want to
Croesus,
stay and guard you.
1, 2.
Croesus slides
Oh,
the
yeah,
piece
I
of
forgot about
paper
that.
over to
What does it say on it?
It just has a smiley face on it.
You slide it to Tony?
Yeah.
Apophis is gonna.
He's just gonna sort of he flips it out and looks at the now ruined cloth napkin.
No, it's a piece of paper
Oh,
because
you stole
Yeah.
the piece
I
of
thought you
paper.
freaking wrote it on the napkin. You're like, here you
He
go.
holds it and he's like, and then puts it down. And then,
On a more serious note, how many notches in a guild card would you say we've earned?
Guild probably just. Hold on, who are you? Which one are you asking?
I'm asking Tony or whoever
Hey, don't.
whoever would know.
I didn't even tell you guys his last name, but you guys know his last name because I have told you, but I didn't say it on stream. His name is Tony Stromboli.
What?
but
Tony Strimble.
Right.
Micah Spaghettio.
Chef Boyardee.
I would like to formally apologize to all Italian people that are listening to this.
Yes, because it's totally crossed into.
totally
Italy
crossed
right
into
now.
racism. Yeah.
This
People in America.
Chef
have
Boyardee isn't
Italian-
racist.
We're
I love
American.
his ravioli.
We're Americans. We
Can we play the game? We had a break to get this all out, but it came back to the table.
we're Americans, so we make fun of other other people.
Okay.
You are ignoring what I
Okay,
just
okay.
said.
I just want to say that. but-
Alan,
Calm down.
we have not spoken to you for most of this dinner, so I would just ask: did you receive my note from Miss Abernathy?
I did. I did. The only problem I see with that arrangement is the fact that I don't understand how you're going to set up a network anyways over such a large section of wilderness. Will you be sending someone that has some sort of magical way to communicate?
Yes. My group, I suppose I'll refer to it as, has strong ties to the university. So whoever I would send would have some magical capability of communicating with our home of operations, if you will.
I'm also
And obviously, I don't want this to feel like you are being watched. If there is certain things that you would like to keep, close to yourself, that's totally fine. Your business is your business. I would just like to be updated of things of particular note that would have any adverse effects politically, economically, specifically on my group.
The problem is the fact that what little communication Javron has with the rest of the Concordance is completely and utterly war-based. Because we can't export any of the goods, nor can we outsource any productions that we need because of our isolation. So I'm having a very hard time seeing how there would be any political advantage to any of this. Which, I mean, in the end, political communications between the cities of the Concordance are already sort of established in some sort of runner system. So, I don't know the complete purpose of you knowing that information.
It's simply information pertaining to my group, particularly. Any other information you can keep to yourself. I don't really care about that. I only care about anything having to do involving my people. You are an isolated city, and therefore you are a primary location for persons of interest like Kramer to come and hide out in, because again, you are an isolated location, easy to hide in. And you have command of the underworld here. So you will know.
Okay, when you say your people, do you mean your family or your actual race of people?
Family.
I truly believe that you would be fully paying a man to sit on his ass 100% of the time, because I cannot think of a single thing that would impact your family.
Well, in you saying that, and you do make a good point, I don't necessarily have to have a person be that line of communication. You can just simply have one of your people, that already has a job, if you will, so they're not sitting on that ass all the time, as you say, that would send a magical communication about said information that could come to light. I understand your position about it being unlikely that things in this city would come back to harm my family in any sort of way, but I don't like leaving things to chance. And there is always a possibility.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Office is just intently listening.
18.
18. Let's see what he rolls.
Besides, with the turbulent climate between the war and the strange happenstance in Laverne, it's best that those of us who are embroiled in under-the-cuff operations stick together and stay in close contact at most all times. Wouldn't you agree? Strength in numbers and all that. I can also offer you services, as well as you can offer me a service by giving me this information. If it is to arise, of course.
In the end, even if I gave you this, I keep switching accents. Tony, even if I gave you this sort of connection, I don't see how I could help you or you could help me in a timely manner, seeing as both Captiosis and Javron are half a continent away from each other.
I'm simply...
I understand connecting and having communications, but I already have a somewhat communication set up with Captiosis, with a runner that goes to Armstead. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to pass on this one. My foresight is not showing me anything that would be valuable for this exchange.
Very well. I was simply offering you some favor, but obviously if you do not see if you don't see any sort of benefit, then I will respect your stance. But at the very least, I am glad to have met you, Alan, and at the very least have a somewhat of a friendship. That way we won't be strangers if I should ever need to visit once again.
Alright, well, the dinner's coming to a conclusion, so I hope you boys have a good night. Thank you for what you've done once again, and your money's at the door. And you guys turn around and you see a big couple crates.
Bag.
It's more of a crate of gold coins sitting there, and you already put up the tent, so you guys just sort of like yeet it.
Croesus has
You
been
just hear
like,
Mark say, "Oh!"
Croesus has been like through 5 plates of pasta, just one after the other.
I've been shoveling it in my mouth with my bare
Me too.
hands.
I've just been eating.
I don't know manners, so I just freaking dump it into my mouth.
I really don't either. I'm just so socially awkward.
I mean, you'd be too. If you were
Okay, so
socially
you have
awkward, you'd be too
Argos's
nervous
journal,
to
which
eat.
is just a normal leather
What?
journal.
No,
And then
that
you
is
have,
not true.
Oh.
Exactly. You don't know.
What did
I don't nervous eat, so
Could we clear up mic here? Kramer's was also leather journal, but the front of it has a giant scar of leather on the front.
They aren't like labeled or anything.
No, they're too.
Apophis just pulls out Kramer's journal, which none of them recognize. It looks like just a journal, and he's just doing the math. I think we each would get 250,000, and I propose we each donate 10,000 and give to our friend Mark.
okay.
Wait, what? That doesn't account for the extra 250,000.
No, that's counting it all.
Oh, because there's.
how much
yeah,
are we
I
giving
can't
to
count.
Mark?
So we each give 10,000. So he gets 50. He gets 50k. We all get 240k. I feel like that's a.
We rich.
We definitely
So-
are.
Alright.
You guys exit.
I'm mugging you. Give me your money.
Go back to. It's
Get
pretty
back,
late
bitch.
now. I'd suggest like turning in, unless you guys want to do anything in your night.
I would like to go to the guild really quick and. Get
Oh,
that
as you
thing.
guys left, they
Yeah.
just took your guild cards and then gave you a new silver guild card. And this time it says, and they all match and say City of Javron.
Okay. So we went up a.
Unless you guys wanted to keep your guild cards, and then they'll just give you the new ones.
I mean, I.
So we just have
Wait.
silver now.
Oh, I
Yeah,
still
they're
have
silver
mine.
instead of bronze.
So we ranked up.
Croesus is gonna go stargazing. I mean, he doesn't have anything planned, but he's just not gonna go to bed.
Okay.
How many notches would that technically be? I'm trying to keep track of that specifically.
I mean, 10.
10. I'll just put that as a 1 on Javron. Since I already have 2.
Okay.
12 now.
Okay. So, are you guys going to bed?
Yep.
Except
Yeah.
Croesus, you're gonna go stargazing.
Yeah.
And Apophis before bed
I-
is going to read another few dreams from the dream journal.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. Faramar is going to spend 2 hours before bed to copy down one of the spells from Kramer's spell book.
Okay.
Before he writes down his stuff, I'm gonna ask him a question.
How many notches on the silver one? Sorry.
it would be
10
nominal.
extra.
Okay. So, having a silver one is equal to having 10 notches on a bronze one. So what they did
Okay.
is they just got all of you guys up to silver.
Okay.
So you have a total of 10 notches with a silver, but not on the silver. So it's like they fully punched out your bronze card and gave you your new card that needs to be punched out.
So we now have 10 in Javron and only the 1 in the burn.
During the combat with Kramer a few days ago, mid combat you fell on the ground. What was that all about?
I have I mean, he hit me pretty hard with that spell. I mean, anyone would have gone down.
There's more to that.
Roll deception. Well, he rolls deception or persuasion. Don't tell us which one it is. You roll insight.
Okay. I need a dice.
I rolled a natural 20.
Bogus.
Well, go ahead and try and roll. See if you can.
Okay.
Insight.
I'm giving you a
Insight
dice.
is your wisdom.
Oh, I have 0 wisdom. Cool. I rolled a 19. That's
Wow.
stupid.
Off by 1. Yeah, no, he appears to be telling the truth. That it was just a powerful spell that knocked him off his feet.
I saw that he had the the freaking. No, that was just the necrotic magic. I don't know.
Yeah, he just had
Like the blood on my.
Well, you got hit with like a necrotic spell, then it started to. I don't
It
know.
also made you like go into the fit as
Yeah, you
Yeah.
seized up.
You saw that, but like because of what I just said, like I essentially just told you like, oh, that's just because like the spell did that to me. But I mean, it's obviously up to you whether or not Barash like actually believes that or not.
No, it's not. It's up to the dice roll.
Yeah,
Believe
I
me.
have to believe it now.
Well, it also depends on what skill I choose, right? Or no, he's just convinced
No.
of it.
The reason I say choose persuasion or deception is so that he doesn't know if you're lying or not. And so then, if you roll high on persuasion and he rolls high, and you used persuasion, then he would believe you're telling the truth. But if you rolled low on persuasion, you'd think it's pretty much the same thing. Persuasion and deception are pretty much the same thing. You're just trying to convince someone that to believe you.
Yeah.
So if you rolled low on either, it's pretty. Yeah, it's just the same thing.
Sorry, no close to the cuff things yet. We've only known each other like a week or something. Wait,
You
no.
guys have known each other for like 2.5 months.
Still.
Bro, I gave you a magic tent. Frick off.
You
Yo,
literally
look.
live in my tent.
But I mean, I'll
Someone
be
told us
as
his
soon as we
entire
go after
backstory.
any of the
That's
follies, I'm gonna be screwed though. So I
Okay,
mean,
so
there'll
did
be
you-
those time.
Here,
Did you? Is that the end of that?
I gotta toughen you up.
That is yes, true.
Okay.
Apophis now.
Perhaps we can spa sometime.
Maybe.
Okay, so Apophis.
Apophis, which now that Argos is gone, does have the room basically all to himself. He's going to read a few more of the dreams.
Okay, so the next big one is.
Let me scroll down real quick to where I've been paraphrasing these.
Okay. Next entry. This is entry 17. Nothing seems to change from entry 5 to 17. But then 17 finally gets to a little bit of a change. Last night I fought back. As the crowd began throwing, I became filled with rage. My presentation was mine and mine alone. They have no right to belittle me for my efforts in the pursuit of understanding the universe. I raised my hand, and out came a ball of fire that tore through the crowds. As the blazes spread, I felt much better. Do you go continue?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like entry number 5, or number 25. Night after night, I've slaughtered my critics, even to go as far as to do so before they start to protest my discovery. The feeling of triumph soon became less and less prominent, and I felt empty. But last night I ventured into the audience and found a book filled with notes. I skimmed through them and realized all these notes are mine. The notes I keep in my mind but have yet to have written down. I finally realized something. I am not the thief. Everyone else is. And that's the end of that one. Do you go on to the last entry?
Yeah.
Last entry, entry number 34. I finally figured it out. These were not dreams. These were visions of the future. My work is being taken from me at this very moment. Not even the corners of my mind are safe from prying eyes. I must go and retrieve that which has been taken from me. My brilliance, my intellect, my mind. And that's the last entry.
All right. Where is the tent kept?
It's kept in...
It's on my back.
Okay.
I'm sleeping with
It was at the library. Has he showed up yet?
He finished his stuff up and was in the tent during the dinner. He's in the tent.
All right. In that case, I'll just wait until the morning to have the stuff I found.
Okay.
Hand it in to him. So Apophis closes it up, puts it in his bag, and goes to sleep.
You guys long rest, even though you guys didn't really need it. Wake up the next morning.
Before we get to the morning, as Croesus is laying back and looking at the stars, he thinks back to his conversation with the woman, and he tries to remember if he was a good person or not.
Okay, roll history. Did you roll a natural 1?
Oh no, it's a 7.
I thought
okay.
it was a natural
Well,
one.
I did. Yeah, I did
You
too.
keep doing just friggin'
A 9.
It is a 9.
Dude, that's so funny.
You can't, but you really do hope you were.
Okay.
And yeah, you guys wake up the next morning. Croesus is already downstairs eating. Is there anything that you guys are going to do this morning before meeting up for breakfast?
Nah, I'm just gonna join him eating.
He probably wants the tent, so I'm just gonna put it.
Well,
Just
I mean,
put it
like,
in the middle of
tent's-
the dining room.
I take it that you guys return to your room and then put the tent up so that Mark can come in and out as he needs.
He's trapped.
And I mean, like the tent was normally set up until you guys took it out. Anyways.
Yes,
And so then like you.
Yeah, I put it
out.
I still love that we sat the tent up in the
In
middle
the
of the
dining
dining the dining hall.
Right, so you guys all meet downstairs
Yep.
and Mark's there, and so he comes out. So what happened last night? How'd the deal go?
Good. We ended up getting in total 1.25 million, and we're actually all gonna donate 50,000 to you, so you can do with it as you wish, and if that suffices.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And we're gonna give Tony and the group that controls the city 3 of our boxes or crates of ethereal glass, and then we will be on our way shortly. And we left on good terms. So
So are we leaving today?
I don't think today, but shortly.
Maybe tomorrow. So that way we can spend today getting ourselves fully and finally prepared.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Then I guess does someone want to take the tent and me, and then I'll hand off all the stuff, and then.
Well, there is one thing I need to do. I have a thing with the blacksmith. I need to go meet him, but I will give my 10K to Mark right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I imagine we all would.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay. But do you want to take the tent and then do the delivery too while you go out?
yeah, I'll do that.
So you're doing that. Is there, everyone else just gonna start like getting ready for the journey for tomorrow?
I'm gonna spar with
I-
femur.
Femur.
Force him into spar.
Yes.
No,
Come
I
here.
had previously
I'm gonna
talked
drag
to him about
by
it.
you.
Before Mark, before you head off, I found 2 books I think that would be good for you to look into. One of those is Argos's journal. I feel out of all of us, he would want you to have it the most. It's got some research in it.
And the second.
The other one would be a journal of Kramer. It's funnily enough a dream journal. Perhaps it would be good to look through. Perhaps there's some hidden things within it of magical use. I read all the words. I'm not really the best at seeing the magical intricacies of everything.
Okay. I'll look into it, but probably later because I have to get ready. for this.
Very interesting, all the dreams he had, I will give it that.
Alright. I'll look into it and see if it has anything. Okay. So I just sort of want to. We'll role play your thing, but I want to fast forward yours.
Okay.
Okay. So you go and do all the stuff. You go get your adamantine dagger and then deliver the stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys only. I would like someone. Is someone keeping like a tent inventory or something?
I
kind
haven't
of.
been.
Do you? Should I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. So like,
Oh, no.
in tent inventory, could you like write down like the stations that you have, as well as like 1 box of
Frick.
ethereal glass?
I need paper.
Also,
I'm gonna just have a separate paper.
I don't have a piece of paper. Do you need it to have? Actually, I do. Do you need it to have a hole? Or
I'm just gonna do another piece of paper so it doesn't get mixed up with my inventory.
like I said, I have another piece of paper. Do you need it to have a hole, or can I just rip it out?
Rip it off.
Okay. So you go do all that.
Well, Apophis is also. What was the cost of a rare magic gem?
Rare. Okay, so it's common, uncommon, rare.
Yeah.
So it's 5k, 10k, 50k. So it's 50k
Yeah,
for.
he's gonna purchase
What do I need on the
one of those
tent inventory?
Okay, so you go.
What do I
purchase
need
that.
on this?
Write down all of the stations that they have, which I believe you guys only have an alchemy station, an enchanter station, and a forge, and then the 1 box of ethereal glass, just so someone has that information.
And we have the golem parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
And-
break chance for the rare?
The rare gem break chance for the first use
Yeah.
is going to be. Hold on, I have to go through a lot of stuff. Mechanics, crafting. Scroll down to gem. Rare chance is 50% on first use.
Rare magic gem.
Since he just got a rare gem, I'd like to talk to Mark about making a magic weapon. It would be the glass rapier we talked about.
Wait, so I want to do their 2 roleplay thing that they're wanting to do real quick, and then we'll do yours, and then we'll jump cut to the next day whenever we do the leave.
Can you, obviously, like after the session, send me the basically the item card for the Thaumic Stone?
Yeah.
And then on Rebuke, did we say that it was a +1 because it's a magic sword? Anything else or no?
No, that's like it's like you dipped your toes with your connection. So are you guys gonna like? Do you guys want to actually have like combat, or is there like a specific part that you guys are wanting to roleplay? Because that'll change and stuff.
I mean, I just want to spar so I can possibly train my dexterity, because long swords use dexterity as their
Okay.
to hit.
Because I also have plans with what you were going to spar.
Huh?
I have plans with what we're going to spar. On what we're going to do.
Okay.
Just so you know, since I added in the system where whenever you guys hit that level 4 and you add, you can still do the addition of the score as well as the thing. That little score is like, oh, you'll use that as like, oh, I'm training my dexterity. Whenever you hit that, you'll use that. It's not like you can. I didn't like the idea of like giving you guys all these accesses to like just dumb up your stuff. So that other way. So whenever you hit level 8, then you can do like, oh, I'll increase my dex. But then you'll have to like train your dex, and then you'll have like a canonical reason for having higher dex. Just to give you a heads up.
Okay, so I can't like.
The training stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like the training stuff on top of the rings, on top of the other things, you guys are gonna have 20s in all your stats.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just flavor it as I'm sparring with Barash every day with my sword and his club. And
Okay. But do you guys want to actually roll dice? Because we don't have too much time.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm going to be... Because you fail to keep your ground whenever you get hit. I was just going to punch you really hard and see if you stumbled. And then progressively punch you even harder.
Oh, so you're not gonna use your bonk stick. You're.
And
just
then I was going to like shoot you with Eldritch Blast
Eventually,
as well.
the monk stick.
See what happens.
Well, let's square off.
Okay.
So you guys are wanting to do PvP?
I don't think we need to roll, but
Are you guys wanting to roleplay and or do the actual combat right now? Or do you just want to say that you did? Giving you guys the option, you choose.
roleplay question mark?
It's currently 15 past.
We could also do just a quick roll to see who comes out on top.
Sure, let's do that.
Quick roll of Constitution.
So 15 plus whatever your constitution.
Yeah, 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Failure.
Yeah, that's 13 for me.
Okay. Yeah. You guys spar and Barash comes out on top as more of like a thing of endurance in the combat. Like he's more used to like the constant using of his muscles in combat rather than sitting back and just booming.
We'll work on that.
But yeah, you guys both, but you guys don't feel bad afterwards, and it wasn't like a one-sided slog where like Alatar got beat down until he lost. It was more of like he lost endurance in the combat, and then that's why he lost.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lack of like.
I like to imagine that he got so tired that eventually, like, Barash just finally did one last blow with like his club, and his sword just gets knocked out of his hand.
The victor.
Is that the end of that?
I guess so.
Croesus,
Mhm.
you were wanting to talk to Mark. Well, I already know what you want to talk to Mark about. Are you wanting to role play that? Or?
No, that's fine.
So I already know what that's about. He tells you that he has a lot of stuff. Like he has what he's wanting to do. Then he has the potions. Then he has.
Doesn't he have a thing helping him make potions?
He does, but it would be. It's like what his list of like priorities is. So he has his thing that he's wanting to do. He has the potions. Then he has Raceland's spear because he asked before, and then he'll do yours.
Okay.
But if that's the end of that, then we're just gonna jump to the next day whenever you guys leave, just so we can get that on the
Do we
roll.
have our rations?
Yeah, Barosh bought them. You guys stand at the entry. You don't stand at the same entryway that you guys came in from. Instead, you're on the other side. So, like, you guys crossed a bridge over a river and entered in from the southern side, the southern gate. And this time, you're going out of the northern gate. You walk past the guards and you start going, and you sort of like nod them off, and you start walking into the forest in the direction that you believe Armstead to be in.
Did we pay at the? Well, quickly before we go, Apophis would want to buy 2 bottles of the champagne.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you buy 2 bottles. I'll go with that'll be 100 GP.
100.
Yeah. 50 each.
All right.
Because it's like good big bottles.
He just swipes that on his way out.
Okay. And then you guys walk off into the forest onto your next adventure in Armstead, with a brief stop in Armstead towards Farum. And yeah, that's where we're gonna end today's session. We'll probably, actually no, we won't. So yeah, next session we'll be traveling, and then hopefully to Armstead, and whether or not you guys do anything there or not. Yeah, that's the end of the session. See you guys next week.
Whippy.